The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey!
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig! Stop! Damn it!
be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this glorious Feel Good Friday, March 8th, 2024. This sports program starts now.
Sports
are happening. I got camouflage pants on.
Hell yeah.
Legs. It's a big day. This was the only size 36 that Abercrombie & Fitch had in its entire store, and it's one of the first times I've ever been able to purchase pants from the store Abercrombie & Fitch because I've had a fat ass and fat thighs since high school, whenever the Abercrombie & Fitch thing was going. Abercrombie & Fitch has completely changed course.
Yep.
It is a cool store. It is a basic white human Cabela's when you're walking through there.
Whoa.
There's throwback stuff. There's this stuff.
What?
There's bland stuff. There's that stuff. Then they had these camouflage pants.
Nice. Had to have
them. So don't worry about my fashion. Some people call me a fashion icon. I mean, that's the way things are going. I feel great on this particular Feel Good Friday because there's a lot of things happening around the NFL for us to chat about. Obviously, sports are taking place. More specifically, the NHL has their trade deadline happening today. So we'll have Kevin Weeksy join us in a second hour at about 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Trade deadline is 3 p.m. So there's a lot of moves happening. Like, for instance, multiple times Stanley Cup champion, friend of the program, dog, Patty Maroon, has been traded to the Boston Bruins.
Boom! Welcome home, Big Rig.
which is a bummer. Jake Gensel of the Pittsburgh Penguins and Kuznetsov is traded to Carolina. But Weeksy will join us to chit-chat about all the happenings around the NHL. Then we'll also have, in the third hour, a man who is tall in stature.
Well.
Yep. In comparison to.
Okay, there we go.
I was hanging out with my 10-month-old Mackenzie.
Sure.
She's standing. She's figuring out the balance. And if Rapoport was to stand next to her, he would do one of these.
She goes up to like your shoulders.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
So he's tall compared to that. But it doesn't matter how tall he is because what he's got in between his ears and what he's got in between his rib cage.
Yep.
That's right.
Is something that's fantastic. Ian Rapoport with the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet will join us in a matter of moments, about 18 minutes. We'll have a new segment called Lying Season with Michael Lombardi where he's going to be tracking all these lies that are being perpetrated out through the media about players for the draft to potentially plummet stock. And the people that are going to be lying about these players are normally the people that want the player the most. So there's stories of draft time whenever somebody has like a 5th or 6th pick and they think that the guy that they love is potentially going to get taken around 3 or maybe 2. So they'll start leaking bad shit about that human that they love. They love this player more than everybody else. They start leaking negative things out through the media so that a narrative can maybe get built so that whenever that number 3 team has a pick or number 4 team has a pick, maybe they decide to go elsewhere so that that player can get to number 5 or to number 6. I know this is common knowledge. I'm just explaining and reiterating that to the people that don't maybe know that. That is happening.
Oh, yeah.
That is the time of year that we are in right now. Last year, and we love the people at the Houston Texans. They're nice to us.
Big time.
But they might have been the people. They won't. They're good people. They're good humans. But it would make sense if they were the people that were like, CJ Stroud's an idiot. Don't even think about confusing who's the number 1 overall pick here because they were sitting at number 2 and they were like, this is the guy that we want. Because there was a convo. Is C.J. Stroud going to go number 1? Is Bryce Young going to go number 1? Bryce Young, definitely number 1. Definitely number 1. Definitely number 1. He's a little bit small. C.J. Stroud just spun it at the combine and won a bunch of meetings. Here we go. Maybe C.J. Stroud's the number 1 overall guy going to Carolina. Josh McCown, quarterback coach for the Carolina Panthers, at C.J. Stroud's pro day says, can't wait to hoop against you down in Charlotte. It's like, wait a minute. C.J. Stroud's the number 1 guy. Then we get into lying season. This dude's the dumbest dude of all time. This guy can't read a defense, lowest this, and it's not the test problem. It's not their fault. They're a collection of tests. But that started coming out last year about C.J. Stroud, and you start thinking to yourself, like, who wanted this information out there? Not saying it was Houston. It might have been a team that was 3 or a team that thought they could maybe get to 4, but that literally happens. And C.J. Stroud just has to sit there and take it on the shins, knowing that he's going to go have the greatest rookie season in the history of the NFL. There's a lot of BS happening around the internet, around media, on this show. I mean, we're a part of the problem. We very much understand that because we're reading all the tea leaves. So Lombardi just wants to track that, basically. So he wants a segment called Lion Season.
I love it.
And I love everything about it. I can't wait to see what we learn through the process. He's a former general manager, former consultant, former coach, former everything. So he's been there, done that. I think we're going to learn a lot about this particular draft season and maybe expose some stuff as we go forward because that's journalism.
That's right.
Nobody ever talks about that.
No, they don't.
All he wears camouflage pants, they say.
That's it. They do.
That's what they say. Hey, so you're telling me this guy that wears camouflage pants is one doing journalism? I don't think so.
Not a chance.
That's an athlete with a platform. That's not a journalist right there. It's like, wait a minute, what if we expose a lot of the stuff that has been happening around draft season? That's real. Give us a Pulitzer.
Yeah.
Is that what the award is?
One of them. I believe, you can get a Pulitzer for journalism. Yeah.
That's what it does, right? What's that other one, that big one?
Nobel Peace Prize.
That's journalism?
Nah, that's like science, that type of stuff.
Well, this is kind of a science whenever you talk about draft season.
It is a science.
You know what I mean? We got draft scientists. So we're looking for all those big, serious awards, especially as we expose something that's been happening for a long time, where players kind of have to just sit and take things being said about them, allegedly ruining their draft stock, which is what they've been working their entire lives for pretty much, so that a team that likes them can get there. It's a wild time. Let's see how it goes. And maybe we're blowing it out of proportion. Maybe everything we say is real. And maybe lying season won't be real.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Talks the Table is here. At Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Con man, have to start immediately. You got a new piece of artillery there on the table.
Wow. Yes, we do.
What is that?
This is a signed Tom Brady Patriots.
Wow.
Yeah. We were at the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital gala, and they say gala. I believe it is gala, but
I think that's a tomato situation.
Yeah, exactly. I decided, you know what? I want to support more so than just sponsoring it because I'm a season ticket holder of the Indiana Fever, and they are a sponsor, in turn making me a sponsor. And I said, you know what? I need to get in on the auction as well. Figured there was no way that anybody was going to be bidding on a Patriots.
Silent auction. You have to sign up. You actually send your text to put your bid in there. You get updates, everything.
Yeah, very simple. I've never been to anything like this, so it was kind of exhilarating. Felt like I was gambling almost, following along with the game because, you are up against other people. At a certain point, someone jumped in, so I was getting texts, a lot of texts actually.
So you would bid, like, let's say $1,000.
Exactly. You bid $1,000. Someone bids, $1,050. You get a text, hey, if you want to retain this helmet, type in 410 because that was the item number with 1,100 to up after that, and it got up to a certain point where I knew it was mine. I was like, there's no way anyone's going to jump in. All of a sudden, we're getting close to the 9:45 p.m. deadline when it closes. Someone's jumping in. I'm going back and forth with one person. And
battling.
And I'm going quick at first. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let this person know, like, hey, if they bid right away, I'm coming in immediately. So they know, like, no matter what you do, I'm coming in.
Yeah, you're setting the tone.
Exactly.
They're getting a brrr in their phone. As soon as they put the thing out, they put it back in, it's back.
Before the phone even touches the pocket.
I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, guess what, person? This is mine. I'm not leaving without this thing in my hands.
1,000 people in the room, probably?
Probably, yeah. There are 102, 105 tables, 15.
10 people at a table?
Yeah, 10, 12 people at a table. So, yeah, 10,000 people, right?
Nope.
10,000.
It's a big room.
Yeah, I think 1,000 people.
It was a huge room.
I think it was about 1,000 people. Big room, 1,000
people.
It
looked like 10,000.
But that's your competition. It was in the room somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And there are a bunch of other cool prizes. So that's why I figured this is the one. Yeah. This is the time to get it in Indianapolis. Turns out the person I was being against was actually enemy within your own camp.
Wow.
Yeah, turns out your wife, Sam, was the one running up the number on this particular auction item. Right before the last bid, we found out, there's a video of it, of her telling me, I was stressed. I wasn't pissed. I wasn't pissed. Let me say that differently. I was relieved and I was pissed at the same time because I knew immediately, okay, I'm getting this helmet. And two, son of a bitch, this lady just ran up the numbers on me, but it's all for the children. I was excited to do it. I was happy to do it. And, you got the Brady portion of the dynasty represented now, which I am happy about.
Some people said you looked like The Undertaker last night with that hat that you had on. There was some purple lighting that was coming down with the way the hair was going, with the jacket. You looked amazing.
Thank you.
And when Sam told me what she had done, I was so incredibly proud.
Yeah.
I never, we had a moment of like full on. I looked her in her eyes and I said, I'm so incredibly proud of you, my wife. Just ran up. They have video of you.
Oh, yeah.
Because Sam's friend Brandy was with her. They have video of her literally hitting the button and then you checking your phone, taking the hat off, wiping sweat off.
It was hot.
Responding and putting the hat back
I was sweating.
Sam just running it up on his entire thing. Hey, for the kids, Sam. Good
Yeah,
work.
kids.
Good work, Sam.
It was a hell of an event, and you were the auctioneer on the live auction with some very cool prizes, a lot of cool stuff involved, and that was also sweet to see because I've never been to that auctioneer type setting. It is sick.
Yeah, it is. And I said this on the stage. I had no idea what I was signing up for.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a gala or a gala, however you pronounce it, until like a couple days before. Because Peyton Manning's one of those guys, for me at least, for everything he's done for me. If he says, "Hey, pal, is there any way you could?" Yeah, like I'm just, got you, buddy. Yeah, whatever you need. And obviously we're pretty busy. I knew it was in Indianapolis. I didn't know exactly what it was. I had no idea until a few days ago that I started looking into it. Peyton had been sending me information. I'm just like, yep, cool. Like, this does not need to be talked about now. This is 2 months.
Yeah.
This is 2 months away. I got a lot of other stuff going on. So then as we show up and we get to see that event, damn near $30 million has been raised from Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital. My baby girl was seen at Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital throughout the pregnancy with the scans. Gave birth at the hospital. That Ascension St. Vincent is associated with it all. So it was like they do a lot for the community. I was lucky to be a part of it. You getting the number run up was sick. You weren't the only one that bought something though.
No.
There was another item purchased by our office last night, and I'll tell you, as soon as ZD Baby caught his eyes on this thing, What is that, Zeke? What did you end up buying, and who did you end up buying it alongside?
Me and Talk went halvesies on a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fucking.
He's excited.
I'm so excited.
Juiced up. I get back from doing the auctioneer thing. Connor's got that helmet on his head,
I can put it on.
strapped, completely strapped. And Talk has this racing helmet halfway down his face, just like this. And I'm like, you guys have a good time? They're like, this is the best thing. This is the greatest thing of all time. Peyton puts on a hell of an event. And Indiana showed up last night. A lot of money in that room, a lot of things purchased, and lucky to be there. Peyton, thanks for giving back still, bub.
Hell yeah, Peyton.
Lucky to be a part. Got to see Dallas Clark, Austin Collie, Anthony Gonzalez, no longer in politics. Good to see him. Looked much happier.
I bet.
Imagine.
Got to see Archie Manning, the legend, dude. I've had a couple evenings where me and Archie Manning found ourselves sitting next to each other, housing a bottle or two or three or four of wine, and just story time with old Archie Manning. That dude's a legend. He's always been incredibly kind to me. He'll send me text messages, even whenever we were just back on YouTube. He'll see something. I just got shown, I'm thinking of him, and it's a text, keep going, pal, with an emoji and everything. Like, it was great to see. It was like a reunion last night. I got to meet Stokely. He flew into town for this entire thing. The guy who owns the room, the thing that Peyton does Manning Cast from, was there. I got to meet him.
Yeah.
One of the auction items at this event last night was to go behind the scenes at the Manning Cast at the place that Peyton does it, get a chance to see it, get a chance to meet him, get a chance to get things signed. I think aviation was involved in these things were
unreal.
These
Big
items,
ticket items.
Yeah, huge.
private plane to the Super Bowl. I think you meet Goodell in one of it. Like
Tickets.
Like it was. It's Peyton Manning.
Sure.
Yeah, and it was all to give back. So thank you to everybody that kind of donated to this whole thing. So I'm doing this, and I didn't know who was at these tables. I didn't know exactly because when I was there, I had to go do my thing. I didn't get to meet everybody. So there's a guy bidding on the behind the scenes of the Manning Cast thing over here. He's like sitting near Peyton or whatever. So it's at like 30, 40,000, whatever it is. And he just stops or whatever. And I go, Peyton, this guy just said, you're not worth it. Okay, 30, 40, good. 45, though, I'm not hanging around Peyton. And this other side of the room, there's people start going bang, bang, bang. One particular table bought two of the items. They're spending a lot of money last night. They're helping society. We appreciate them. But they started going. So I talk shit on this guy, right? And then I'm told by Peyton walks by me to go shake the hands of the people that bought it over here. And he goes, that's the guy that actually owns the garage that I do Manning Cast out. That guy was bidding to keep people out of his, I'll donate. I'm up to $40,000 to keep people the hell out of my house. It was a magic, and obviously I called that out. I'm like, it was a great event, a lot of money raised. In Indianapolis is, I understand, considered a small city or whatever, but like, whenever the people of Indiana and Indianapolis come together to do things, it's huge. That felt like a massive event last night. There was full production, full everything, so much money raised. the Irsay family went up there and they just $500,000 just dropped it on that. It's like, it felt like a big thing. And,
Absolutely.
And we're lucky to be a part of it. And shout out to you for getting the Patriots helmet, and shout out to Sam for running that thing up a little bit.
Appreciate that, Sam.
One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. Tone, Pittsburgh Steelers are visiting with Russell Wilson today. If you're listening to any airport media, there's people taking pictures of Russell Wilson, who was in Newark, New Jersey. Obviously, as soon as you hear that, you think to yourself, oh, so Russell Wilson must have been visiting some teams. Allegedly, he was. Allegedly, it was the Giants. Then he was in the airport to fly to where? Pittsburgh, when he took a picture with a fan and it got posted. I think Schefter and Rapoport both reported this. Then obviously he was being pictured coming off the plane, and Jilly Jets, who's a flight attendant, said, you know what? I have a good time as a flight attendant or as a pilot, and this is how I fly in this entire thing. So shout out to Captain Jilly Jets there for marketing it, but it feels like Russ is headed to Pittsburgh, and it's starting to get real. He's speed dating. His team has allegedly come out and said that he would play for the Las Vegas Raiders. Would the Raiders have him play for them? We don't know. Where do you stand with Pittsburgh, the Broncos, Mark Schlereth's comments, and Russell Wilson potentially being your guys' quarterback?
This kind of washed over me last night when I was looking at myself in the mirror before going to bed. I'm kind of sick to my stomach. For half of my life, 17 years, I woke up every day and I knew that 7 was going to be our quarterback and we're going to have a chance to win the Super Bowl. I woke up this morning and I'm trying to convince myself that a guy that I said sucked for the last 3 years is going to save the franchise. Okay, Russ Wilson's coming to the Steelers. I am sick to my stomach. Okay?
About yourself or about the situation?
Just about the situation. You know, this.
Not yourself. You would never feel like that about you.
No, I feel about myself like that every day. But that's
okay. This is starting to ooze out of you to the outside world now. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, trying to convince yourself that Russ is going to lead you to a Super Bowl is quite a place to be in as a fan. You know, yesterday I was doing it, and then Schlereth came in and. You know, he kind of changed my opinion a little bit.
Yeah, but he was in the middle of a workout. He was a little jacked up.
True. Yeah, it was a tough time with Russ in Denver.
And basically, if we bring Russ in, that's admitting that we missed out on a first-round quarterback. We just wasted that pick. I'm in a bad spot today with all Pat, to be honest with you.
Well, I think the Russell Wilson interest is you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay, Tom.
Don't worry, Tony. Yeah. Still got TJ Watt.
You've convinced yourself to say a lot more things, so you'll be able to get through this one if I had to guess. But the Russell Wilson market has become a very big one, we assume, because the price in which a team is going to have to pay him is like $1.2 million because he's already getting 39 from the Denver Broncos, who are in the middle of dealing with the biggest dead cap acceptance in the history of the NFL. Hey, $85 million over the next 2 years you're not going to be able to use to build your team in a team-building way that money is a massive piece of it. This is the biggest ever, by far. This is 100 and something % more than the last biggest dead cap that has ever been had by anybody, which I believe was Matt Ryan with 40-some at Atlanta. Then there was Carson Wentz. Then there was Aaron Rodgers. Then there was
Russ again.
Russ Wilson whenever he left the Seattle Seahawks or whatever. So it's like all these things that are being decided by the Denver Broncos saying, we'll pay all this money to get him out of here. Then you listen to Mark Schlereth being like, Scott ruined the franchise. Yeah. That's what Mark Schlereth basically said. Can't throw over the middle, which a lot of people started following up with why he's not tall enough to throw the ball over the middle. That's why he has to move in this entire thing. Pittsburgh Steelers haven't thrown the ball down the middle ever. Like, that hasn't been their offense.
Not in the last 2 years.
At all anyway. So it's like, at $1.2 million, though, I think there's a lot of teams that are like, yeah, I hear you, Mark. And we saw it too in Denver and Monaco and everywhere else. But $1.2 million, this guy's less than a punter or a kicker. This guy's less than some long snappers. Okay? So paying a guy $1.2 million, massive weapon for a team. So I assume you don't care that the Steelers are taking a meeting because they
No.
Okay.
No, I don't care that they're taking a meeting. I just came to the realization last night that they're not winning a Super Bowl with them.
Were you with your daughter when this came
No,
over you?
I had put her to bed already.
Okay, so now you're alone time with
Yeah. It was just me and my wife is out of town. So it was
Tony's thoughts.
It was just me and myself, which is not a good place ever.
TTs.
Like, I need distractions, and this washed over me. But, maybe he'll be great again. But, maybe, everyone was super happy when he left Seattle, and everyone's super happy when he left Denver. But the next team's going to be great, maybe.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, the price. I mean, at $40 million, you're pissed that you have Russell Wilson. But at 1.2,
Happy he's here?
why not?
Why doesn't he come to the Colts?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, maybe he should come to the
They
Colts.
need a backup, right? Gardner's a free agent.
Bingo. Maybe he starts the season, Anthony Richardson watches, does his entire thing, and then he comes in,
Learns how to slide, get down, because Russ is great at that.
Yeah, let him cook a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah, $1.2 million. Yeah, he'd be getting paid less than our long snapper gets paid.
Bingo.
It's like, yeah, I will certainly roll the dice on a Russell Wilson being a guy on our team at that price tag. If it was $20 million, I think it's a whole different conversation.
Sure. Yep.
But now $1.2 million, he's taking pictures with fans.
Yep.
Think about the babyface turn, where he's going to make $39 million next year regardless.
Yes.
So he's still getting paid top of the market for quarterbacks next year. But in a fan's perspective, in 31 teams' perspective, he's no expectation, no money. It's like, what a move for Russ to have happen, even though it had to suck. The way Denver ended,
for sure,
how Denver went had to suck. It's like he's found himself in a great position right now, and that's just a matter of fact.
Yeah, low risk for sure, obviously, for anyone who picks him up. But I think that also, unfortunately, and who knows, this could be completely wrong. We'll see. But that almost kind of signals like hey, this guy just isn't very good anymore.
Whoa!
We don't know how it happened. It's kind of been like a very quick fall from grace. But if that's the
Dan Orlovsky said he was top 10 in the league.
He certainly did. And then yesterday, Stink, who lives in Denver, said, this guy sucks. He sucks. I watched him.
Once again, he was with Fuji.
Sure. Yeah. And like you said, testosterone's pumping. Who knows what kind of pre-workout he had.
But creatine is definitely in there somewhere.
But if that's the only reason you're bringing him in is just because, hey, he's cheap, It's like, are you actually thinking that he's all of a sudden going to turn into 2015, 2013 Russ? I don't think so. Like like Tony said, like is Russ Wilson winning you a Super Bowl now? I don't think he is. And I think a lot of teams probably think that way, but also if the alternative is, hey, we're going to absolutely stink, like this guy might be able to lead us to the playoffs if he has like a big resurgence here. But when the silver lining to bring him in and the only reason you're bringing him in is because, hey, he's cheap, Denver's paying him everything, like I don't think that necessarily signals like the most glowing endorsement of the guy.
You're saying that all this is fake. This is Fugazi's happiness.
Yeah, kinda.
This is Fugazi's happiness.
And again, I'm happy for Russ.
You see him taking pictures. You see how happy that guy?
He's getting paid. He probably
Chili Jets.
He
comes out of the cockpit. It's like, wait a second.
Exactly.
Russ?
And he never really, he hasn't got to do this before in his career. He got traded to the Broncos. Like, he hasn't got to go around. It's just unfortunate that the situation now is like he's just a piece of poop on the scrap heap, and they're just like, hey, we'll bring you in for $1.2 million. Sure, you want to come in and see the facility, but he's not getting wooed by anyone. You know?
Don't know that.
I think I do.
They said Mike Tomlin's bringing him a Rui sub, some Permain sandwiches.
Like, are the Giants just handing him over? Is Dan Jones still a thing? Are the Steelers just handing it over? Is Kenny still a thing? Are the Raiders just handing it over? Is Jimmy G or Aiden O'Connell or whatever still a thing?
The Giants brought him a slice of Sbarro and said, hey, here you go. You want to check out the facility?
Sbarro not bad.
No, I love Sbarro.
I love Sbarro.
I do.
It's a classic New York slice.
If there's Sbarro in airport, I'm normally pretty pumped.
For sure. Beeline.
Okay, I will do that. Feels like they got the weight of the slice and the paper plate ratio figured out.
Sure. Remarkable.
Because some of those, it gets all sloppy.
Oh, yeah.
Sbarro is the perfect mall, airport, move, slice.
Affordable combos as well. You get the slice, the breadstick, and the drink for $7.
Well, and then they also put it in the oven to make me feel like they're doing it for me.
Exactly.
So even though this thing's been made for a couple hours, you are personally cooking it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I was going to say, if it's not fresh, you might as well just eat the paper plate. It's got to be fresh out of the oven. You can't have them put it back in the oven, heat it up. It's got to be fresh.
That's Nicholas Franklin Moraldo talking, and Anthony DeGiulio's pumping his fists over here.
Today's a much better day now after I just read something.
What you just read, was it something about Sbarro being the best pizza in town?
Best place you can find?
Actual free agent who would make a huge difference is scheduled to visit the Steelers.
Mitch Morse is traveling to Pittsburgh to meet with the Steelers.
Now that's something that gets me going. Like now, Friday's so much better now.
Hey, Mitch Morse is a dog, and the Steelers' offensive line is certainly something I think that Steelers fans feel like you could upgrade if you needed to. And since Pouncey hasn't been around, I think there's been some question marks at the center position. Joining us now is a man who's had to make these decisions in the past for a program. He's an author. He's a speaker. He's a guy who has an email newsletter that gets you motivated every single day called The Daily Coach. Normally read it when I'm on Jaw in the morning.
Smart.
Normally when I read it on Jaw in the morning.
Good start.
He's the host of a podcast. He's the host of a daily show. Ladies and gentlemen, our friend, Paisano Michael Lombardi.
Hey, I got to tell you, you guys got to search out the Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart did a whole thing on when Sarah Palin came back to New York and Trump took her to Sbarro's Pizza. And then he went off on it. And it's got to be one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It's from The Daily Show. It's about 10 years old. You can find it on YouTube. It's incredible. He would disagree with all these praises for Sbarro, but, everybody loves pizza differently, so I can't judge
Well, I assume because you're Italian, just like Moraldo back there and DeGiulio just did over here, and you're about to do the same, just like you guys bash Pizza Hut.
Exactly.
Just like you guys bash Pizza Hut.
Right.
I want to let you know, Pizza Hut, if the video that I watched the other day is real and not AI and fake, Pizza Hut had a man who was very intoxicated who believed he was Jesus Christ breaking into Pizza Hut to eat some of that pizza.
Exactly.
Called the police on himself, said his name was Jesus Christ. Where are you? Pizza Hut is, where do you think I am?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm at Pizza Hut? What else did you do? I had Mountain Dew. Anyways, there he is. This guy right here.
Oh man,
this guy right here.
That Mountain Dew was laced with something. There's no.
Watch your mouth, Lombo.
Easy.
That's Jesus Christ you're talking about. All right, let's talk about these football
Let's talk football.
Okay, so Ty just went on a rant about how all this happiness that all these teams and fans are showing for Russell Wilson is strictly because he's worth $1.2 million, and that's not necessarily a glowing endorsement of Russell Wilson, which if that is probably a fact. But right now, Russ is doing like a tour, seemingly. He was at the Giants, allegedly being reported. He's flying to Pittsburgh, which if you listen to Jerry Dulac yesterday and pieced together the photos from the airport, he must be meeting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Las Vegas Raiders, he said he's open to visit to. This market is because teams know they don't have to pay him. Is that a bad thing? Is it like fans? I think it's a babyface turn for Russell Wilson. You had some Steelers fans yesterday, Tone being included, being like, Russell Wilson, 1 point,
pumped.
Yeah, why not? And some other places doing it. Is it all bad that that's the only reason why people are viewing it? I don't think so. I think it's good for Russell Wilson. This is a good time for him to potentially prove that he's still good. What are your thoughts on it all?
Well, first of all, I think it's a two-phase plan, right? If you're a team that is in need of a quarterback, let's just say Minnesota, they lose Kirk Cousins, or the Giants, who have, as Rich Eisen reported, are not in love finally with Daniel Jones. You may not be able to get a quarterback in this draft that you like, but Russell will be the bridge to get you the quarterback to the next quarterback. And I view him more as a bridge than I do as a solution. So you need that bridge guy to kind of get you through to where you can get to the next quarterback, because it's so damn hard to find one. And at least you know that if you put him in the game, he had 8 interceptions last year, you can manage the game, and the other two parts of your team are going to have to help you win. I don't see it as a deterrent because of his salary. I think it basically every salary determines what the role is on the player, right? So if I said to you, Pat, you're going to be my starting quarterback, I'm going to have to pay you X amount of dollars to show you that with incentives. With him, you just can simply say, look, we're going to bring you in, you're going to compete, and we'll see how you play, and we'll go from there. And I think that's kind of a good thing for your team if he's willing to accept that role. Remember, when Kurt Warner left the Giants, he was not playing well in his NFL career. And then he went to Arizona, was the backup there, and then became the starter. And I think those 2 years that he had at Arizona was what got him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think so too. And he's a story that we all love because that Lifetime movie, Hallmark Channel movie.
American Underdog.
It wasn't Hallmark.
It was a Hallmark movie.
It was in theaters.
He didn't tell me. Well, I'm saying it was a Hallmark genre movie.
Of course.
I'm crying my eyes out watching that movie. Kurt Warner came on our show and marketed that movie, and I'm like, okay, he's coming on our show to market a movie. It's going to be this could be a football movie.
Yep.
And we love Kurt Warner. I go watch that movie. I'm bawling my eyes out, like literally crying my eyes out. But I think you learn his entire story, and then you see the setbacks. He gets Arizona, and he does great. It's like the good comparison with Russell Wilson is because we feel like Russell Wilson is like a movie character quarterback. Everything he says seemingly comes out of a movie script of an NFL quarterback, even when he's mic'd up. Seemingly off the field, he's the same exact way as he is on the field. Like, he was made to be an NFL quarterback in the movies. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Like, doing the full walkthrough on the Pittsburgh Steelers football field. Like, that happened before the game whenever he was hurt. His finger was hurt, remember? He does that whole walkthrough down the field in the stadium while they have a sky cam on him, which once again, not his fault that they have the sky cam on him. No. There was nobody else in that stadium but the football team, but that gets out. It's like, that's all shit that comes out of like starting quarterback movie stuff. So if you think about the Russell Wilson story arc here, this would be a great revenge, get back, prove myself type thing. Do you think he does that? Which team do you think offers him that particular situation? Like what team, if you were Russell Wilson, would you be trying to get to so that you could potentially prove to the world, hey, I still have it. This is all part of the story pretty much.
I would go to Pittsburgh because they're going to be a good team defensively. I mean, think how great TJ Watt is, right? He rarely plays with the lead, and he still affects the game tremendously, which is hard to do, right? And so if he goes to Pittsburgh, and with Artie Smith, they're going to run the football. It's going to be play action. It's going to be that outside zone stuff. I think he has a chance that the rest of the team can help him, and he's not going to have to carry the team. Plus, he's got really good skill players there. I mean, they've got some really good skill players that we have not noticed enough because of the lack of play at quarterback. I mean, Mason Rudolph played well against Buffalo, getting the ball to the people we needed to get it to. So I think that's an ideal situation for him because they're a good team. They're always going to be a good team. They're mentally tough. They're physical. And here's the key part for Russell. They're not going to draft a quarterback. They're not going to draft a quarterback. So you're not worried about somebody coming in. And if he goes to the Raiders trade up to get Jaden Daniels and they draft Bo Nix or somebody else. Now all of a sudden you sign with a team that doesn't do you any good.
So he would be competing with Kenny, though? You think he'd be competing with Kenny, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to watch the tape and say, look, I can compete with Pickett. I mean, I'll go in there and beat him out, and I'm sure Pickett will say, no, you can't beat me out. That's good for a team. And eventually you got to make that decision, because when Steve Young and Joe Montana were competing against one another, Ronnie Lott went to Bill Walsh and said, look, you need to make a decision here, coach, because we can't have two quarterbacks. And finally he chose Montana. But I think would be a healthy situation. I would not fear competition at quarterback. If you're Pittsburgh, you need it. You absolutely need it.
So it does kind of scare me in some places. Like, I feel like if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. The locker room needs to know who, right? The locker room needs to know who's doing what. But you're right. If you don't have – now, Kenny is going to say he got injured. They got rid of an offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. They bring in actual offensive humans that run good NFL offenses. He did good. He's out. Mason comes in, does his thing. Kenny probably assumes he would do the exact same. And we're pulling for you, Kenny.
Yep.
We're pulling for you. That's the case. But at $1.2 million, like if Russell loses, even if Mason Rudolph's better than him, you can cut him.
Yeah.
You know, like it is not that you would. I'm not saying Russell Wilson's going to get cut, but at $1.2 million, you're a special teamer. You're a long snapper. You can get cut at $1.2 million and not affect the team. Now that goes to this next conversation, because if it's just a 1-year deal, that makes sense. But Russell's probably going to sign a 2-year deal, right? And the way you'd be selling to him as a GM would be, hey, you're making 39. If we give you 11 in that second year, that's 50 total. Is that what you're trying to sell? How are you getting that deal done for a second year with Russell Wilson if that is inevitably what's going to have to happen somewhere?
I would say to Russell, look, prove it to us. I'd do a 1-year deal, because when you get into that second year, and if you start to have to guarantee any money in that second year, I don't think you can sit there and say to the tape, I want to do this is a smart move for me. I see this as a 1-year prove it type deal with Baker Mayfield signed down in Tampa Bay. Prove it to me. Come show me you have it. And if you're good enough, we'll re-sign you. That's not an issue. I mean, we're going to get you back on the team. I agree with what you said about the quarterback, the locker room, but the locker room, those guys are smart in that locker room. They'll know who the best quarterback is rather quickly, right? They go out to practice. They do a good job of camouflaging it from the media, but there's no team that I've been a part of that didn't know who was the best quarterback on the team.
And also, the locker room, the only issue there is if whoever's making the decision who's the starting quarterback is opposite of what the locker room thinks.
That's right.
Then
that's when you get in real trouble.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like, that's got to be the same, because if the group on the field is seeing it differently than the people that are making the decisions, that's when you lose the trust of, you know what I mean? It's hard.
Yep, no question.
And that's not just quarterback position. That's a lot of different positions where it's kind of taking place, where it's like, hey, you saw what they did to blah. It's like that starts becoming the issue.
You can't fool the one thing I learned in my career, you can't fool the locker room. I mean, there's two things that happen in the locker room. There's a lot of business meetings going on. They know every salary in the league, and they know also, and they can evaluate every player on the team. So you can't really fool the locker room. If you try to, you lose credibility.
Well, there's also a third thing going on. There's some sort of gambling happening.
Sure.
There's some dice or cards happening somewhere in I wonder if the modern locker room has dice in there or anything like that. Never playing for money. Always just like M&Ms.
Yeah, fun stuff.
M&Ms and stuff
Hats.
like that, obviously. Yeah. Merch and socks.
Right.
And cleats.
Slides.
Yeah. And jugs.
And bragging rights.
Yeah, bragging rights.
Exactly.
That was what it was about the entire time.
Yeah.
Conman's got a question for you, Lombo.
Yeah, Lombo.
Yeah,
obviously,
Connor.
this draft season, as a Patriots fan, is much more serious because of the fact that they're sitting at number 3, and we've now heard from 3 different people that they would take all 3 quarterbacks at number 1. Florio and the majority have Caleb, or Schlovsky has come on and he has said Jaden Daniels should go 1. Darius Butler played a golf round with Drake May. He said he would take Drake May number 1. So for a Patriots fan, what should we be expecting? Because we're hearing a lot of stuff now. I mean, since the start of the combine to now, we've drafted 8 different guys and we've made 6 different trades with that number 3 overall pick. What do you think that I should be thinking as far as expectations go with what New England will do at 3? And do you see everything still on the table right now?
I think everything's on the table. If you know Elliott and his dad, Ron, I mean, they're going to take the best player, the highest graded. They're not going to fudge the grade to get the quarterback up there. And they could easily, maneuver this notion. And I don't agree with this. This is why I call it lying season. Somebody put out a report that Jaden Daniels' camp told everybody he won't go to the Patriots. Come on. All of a sudden now that's a destination not to go to. I find that hard to believe. So I think what you do if you're New England is you grade them out, you see them, and then you know that if you sit there and your phone's going to ring on draft day, if you don't want to pick the quarterback or if you want to trade back, hypothetically, say you have the same grade on Bo Nix that you have on Drake May, just hypothetically. Then you figure out where you have to go to get Bo Nix. You move down, you pick up picks, and then you end up with a guy you wanted anyway. But I think it's way too early to start maneuvering around the draft board. I think it's way too early for that. I think a lot is what's going to happen. Let's say they sign Jacoby Brissett in free agency, the Patriots. Okay, there's their bridge quarterback, right? Now they'll go with Jacoby Brissett, whomever else they get. Do they draft a guy? I don't know. But they may be able to add more talent to their team and then still find the quarterback. So I think there's a lot of team kind of the way you build your team has yet to be determined. I'm sure there's somebody on that board in New England right now that they would take automatically at 3. Are there 3 players that they would take automatically at 3? I find that hard to believe. I think that's always a little bit of a lie. The other lie that often happens here, and we're going to hear about it now, 5 teams are involved with 1 player in free agency. 5 teams are competing. That's the biggest lie known to me. There's never 5 teams involved. There are 5 teams that have called. There's 5 teams that have expressed interest. There's usually just 2 teams left in it, and maybe it's usually just 1 competing against themselves. Never 5.
I was the auctioneer last night for a live auction. Obviously, at the Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital thing, there was a drunk rich in the middle, white, drunk rich white in the middle. And for one entire auction item, I had him bidding against himself. Just
awesome.
I go, hey, buddy, we need 30. He's like, 30,000. Stand. Every time he did it, he stood up and yelled in the entire room. It was like, all right, we all know him. Perfect. I look to my left. There's no humans over here. All right, 36. Right? Yep, okay, buddy. Hey, we need 37. He goes, 37. All right, 38. Yep, nobody here. We need 40. Yep, 40. I got this guy to outbid himself 4 straight times. Okay, and this one item, everybody in the room obviously acknowledged, and then a big hammer came over top and said 70,000 or something. It was over like that. He was sat down. I was like, all right, yeah, you're not in on that one. But that is the game for free agency. Is you need at least 2. You need at least 2, right. Is what everybody says.
You really want the home team. You really want the home team because they if the home team's not involved and you're the negotiating it for another player, you want that home team because that home team knows the player really well and wants them back. You want them in there. Now, that if it's close, that the guy's going to stay with the home team. That. Usually players will stay where it's comfortable. But if the home team's not involved, then it comes down to you and you got to figure out who else. Like Christian Wilkins, there'll be people involved, but there have been eliminations along the way. I would suspect by Monday at 12:05, we'll know where he's going to go, and we'll have a sense of it because there have been about 2 teams and one just outbid the other.
Okay, so you're saying whenever we hear the 5 teams are in it or 6 teams are in it, that means 5 or 6 people looked into it, heard what the game was heard what the price is going to be maybe, and they're like, all right, well, we're going to be out on that.
I'm out.
And then 2 people stick in. And then if only 1 team sticks in at that particular price, boom, we got a deal. If none of the teams sticking at the price, all of a sudden 5 people back interested again. Hey, we have reduced the price of the house. The house is now worth this. Are you back?
No, they never reduce the price. You'll see something on Twitter that says it's starting to heat up between these 3 teams. You'll start to see some more misinformation come out. You'll start to see that, we got to get involved. Try to stoke the fire a little bit.
I love that.
Everything's done through the media. And you as a general manager, you're basically playing poker. You got to sit there and say, I could see that. I can't, okay, let's take Saquon Barkley. They have the Eagles really interested in them. They may be. But of their history, Philadelphia has never put money into a running back. They've drafted him in the 2nd round, but they've never spent 13, 14, 15 million per year on a running back. So would they be interested in Barkley at a certain price? I'm sure they would. Do I think they go to 14 or 15? It's never been in their DNA to do that. what's been in their DNA is to sign defensive linemen, which is what I think they'll do as soon as it starts.
So, with all that being said, Michael Lombardi, it is time to introduce this brand new segment called Lombo's Lying Season.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we talk about this on a little. Yep, every day it's lying season. Now we're in it big time. Now
Here's one of the things that has been put out that you thought to yourself, maybe not. JJ McCarthy and Bo Nix have a market that is heating up, I believe is what it is, or hot. You're saying that might not be true. What is this coming from? How is this coming from?
Well, I think when you watch J.J. McCarthy, I think one of the things that most teams will do is watch the third down tape on all these quarterbacks. Why will you watch third down, just third down? Because that's the fast down. If you said to me, why has Daniel Jones not been a good player? Because when the game speeds up, he can't speed up. You have to be quick-minded and quick-footed to play quarterback in the NFL. You've got to be able to make quick decisions. You've got to get your feet in the right spot, and you've got to do those things. So for me, I think when you watch McCarthy on third down, he's very effective. Bo Nix, I thought, had a really good workout. I think Bo Nix's tape is better than people think. I do think they're moving up. Do I think they're going to be in the top 5? That I can't answer at this point. Would I grade both quarterbacks as potential starters or starting quarterbacks? I think that's kind of where I am, and I think they are. There is some fabric of the league that likes the players because they can offer some things. Are they perfect? No, I don't think nobody's like Bill Walsh used to say this all the time. The search for the perfect player never ends. Like there are no perfect players. But I think to me that these guys are going to show that they have a lot of skill and can play on the next level.
Pat Mahomes feels like a little bit.
Yeah, he's close.
He's
close.
Yeah, he's got good
Manning
hair,
was
too.
close. Yeah, I mean there are a lot of guys close, but it's close.
Oh, Megatron was.
Yeah. Jerry.
Reggie White.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got Ronnie Lott, Joe Montana. There's a lot of
Lawrence Guy.
But we have talked about
Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor as well.
Lawrence Guy.
We've talked about Larry Guy. You know it, Lombo. You know it. Yeah,
He's a good dude.
Damn near perfect.
Don't even get into this Keith Van Noy stuff that you have in the past. We've talked about this before. You talk about perfect, and I haven't read the entire book, but I think a lot of it is about Jesus Christ on a football field.
Yeah,
sure.
Oh my God.
You bet.
The slant routes.
Oh, he's coming across the middle.
Oh.
And just like he was on water,
Oh yeah.
he's got feet like a shorebird.
Yeah.
Like actually.
Yes.
He's dancing around everybody.
And then Tyreek
getting
Hill
hit.
takeoff.
Oh my, yeah, I couldn't even imagine when he just does this one here. You know what that means? He's got that big robe hanging.
Oh, yeah.
Does this.
Just chuck it.
Sauce Gardner's like, oh shit, Jesus Christ is about to hit me. And from some of the photos, I think he's white, but then that doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
So, I mean, that's a whole conversation of itself. But
Polamalu would have put his shoulder right into Jesus' midsection. He'd have been sucking wind for an hour.
No, he knows how to avoid hits, dude.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? This is Jesus Christ.
not for
Troy. I mean, Jesus' dad was telling Troy where to go. I mean, Jesus' dad wouldn't tell Troy in that scenario
maybe.
when Jesus.
Yeah,
is
people
getting
said
the ball.
actually Troy Polamalu was getting messages from the football gods telling him where the ball was going, which is why he had such good anticipation on things. Troy Polamalu pretty close, I guess, to a perfect football player.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, this is lying season. You got another one that you sent over. You said, this is being reported right now that the Bears like Odunze and Neighbors more than Harrison. That might not be true. Might be true, though, you're saying. These are just things that are being talked about right now that we will get an answer to whenever the draft inevitably comes. What are your thoughts on this particular one?
I think that these receivers are clustered together. Look, Harrison's got great size, and everybody has him as the number one. But I think these other two receivers are close to him. And I think that's the conversation. And look, I think the Bears are going to take a quarterback, but I think the Bears could easily get a receiver at their next pick if one of these guys are to make it down to them. So I don't think this is, Harrison's, on this level, and then the other two guys are 15 levels below him. I think it's a lot closer, and I think teams look at that, and that's how you manage drafts, and that's where the horizontal board comes in as much as the vertical board comes in. You've got to be able to measure it in two levels. We constantly talk this offseason about the vertical board. Who's the best receiver? Who's the best? But how he relates to the best defensive tackle, or how he relates to the best offensive tackle, or how he relates to other positions in offense, I think that's important. And where the Bears are just, I know that they're going to be able to do all the homework on all the receivers, because if they pass on a receiver in the first round. They're going to take a quarterback if they don't trade down, which I don't think they will. They're going to try to add another blue chip player to their top 10 list. And those two guys, I think people see them as blue chip receivers.
These young receivers are seemingly getting better than they've ever been.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and we're stooges that cover the draft because the draft spectacular is like our biggest show every year. And it makes no sense because, this year we're going to be at the draft, I think, so it should be a pretty cool little thing. But it's like nobody knows what's going to happen in the draft at all. But like trends seem to be that these younger receivers are better, quicker, and making bigger type of impacts on football games. So whenever you're talking about these guys that are at the top of the pack, this is like one wide receiver as soon as you drop them in, right? That's what this is. Hey, this is going to be our offense changer. This is game wrecker coming in immediately. Is that kind of the thought on the top wide receivers?
Well, the number one receiver, it's a myth in football. There's very few of them. But what you have to be a really good team is a guy that can line up on the outside and win on the outside running routes. The worst thing is if you can't win on the outside against press coverage, man-to-man on third down, and you've got to separate. Those are the guys that are the ones that win. And it has to happen outside the numbers. And these guys have indicated based on their play at Washington, LSU, and at Ohio State that they have that ability. That's what makes T. Higgins so good. That's what makes Jamar Chase so good. What makes Tyreek Hill so good is he can line up anywhere across the field and win. But winning on the outside at receiver, that's why Brandon Ayuk is so important to the 49ers because of all their receivers, and they've got a lot of good players, but the one who wins on the outside is Ayuk. They need that. That stretches the field horizontally as much as it does vertically. If you don't have that, then all of a sudden teams pack the middle of the field on you, and it becomes very difficult. And finding that guy who can win one-on-one on the outside is a lot harder than you think it is. Everybody thinks they can find that guy, but it's hard to do because it takes a different kind of guy out there. It takes quickness. It takes incredible balance, too, because you're always going to be in some form of traffic.
And it also takes incredible hands. The amount of work machine you got to put in, the amount of work route running you got to put in, the amount of work conditioning you got to put in because you're running miles and miles. It's not easy to be a number one wide receiver. That's why Justin Jefferson's going to get how much, you think, per year?
He'll get over 30. Tyreek's at 30 per year, and he's the highest paid guy, so he's going to get over that. That's what you just said there. And then the other thing I think I should have added to it is the coverage gets rolled to the number one receiver on the outside. When that happens, all of a sudden, stuff opens up in the middle of the field for everybody else.
Yeah, and T.Y. Hilton, I watched as it happened to him. It was like a massive compliment to him. But it was also like life is much worse all of a sudden because we had Reggie for a long time. So Reggie was the guy that everybody rolled to because Reggie was so smart. Even when he wasn't maybe running the fastest that he used to run, he was able to find holes and Andrew Luck was able to find them. So Reggie. That's why he's going to be Hall of Famer? No, going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Needs to be a Hall of Famer. Reggie Wayne needs to be a Hall of Famer. He was our guy, boom, 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 boom. And then one game, I think it was New England. I think it was Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick rolled that son of a bitch right over to T.Y. And it was like T.Y. had no yards. It was like nothing. And it was like a massive compliment to T.Y. Like massive compliment.
Right.
Hey, congratulations. But also life is different now. T.Y. then started, he had to start operating a little bit different in that. And there were some shots where there's like 6 eyes on T.Y. And it's like, that's why it takes a special person to be that person because there's going to be layers to this shit as you continue to grow older. If you can find one, get one. That's why the Marvin Harrison Jr. stuff, I think everybody with a sane mind is going to figure it out.
Yeah, stud.
But there's some people coming out maybe not, though. It's I think he's going to be
so big. He's so big. That's the other thing. You need to be physical out there. You need to be able to, win. And these corners, as they get bigger, you got to be able to battle them at the line of scrimmage, and you got to be able to win. And then, look, you got to be able to win against the double coverages. Randy Moss, he was able to do that. He split it. When you went in and out coverage on Moss, that was you got him, I got him, nobody's got him because he took it down the field. So those are the hard guys to defend, and then it helps your offense. And I think to me that's what forget what Harrison runs on the 40. It's about how he plays the game and how he's able to burst at the top of his route. Everybody looks at the first 10. It's at the top of the route that is most critical for receivers.
When you're selling.
When he's separating so the quarterback sees space to throw the football.
Yeah, at the top of the route, he's selling right there. Either go or stop. And that's where you need the gear. That's where that different gear helps for people. Now, not only all that about Marvin Harrison Jr., and obviously I know his dad because he was a Colt, a legend here, but like the stories they talk about his work ethic. It's like Bobby Carpenter goes in to work out with college kids at like 5:30 a.m. every single morning. He's a 40-year-old radio host in Columbus, former Buckeye, really jacked and strapped and in shape and hilarious. He said when he gets in there, Marvin Harrison's on the jugs already. Like he's the only person in there on the jugs machine. And then at night, whenever Bobby's going back for his afternoon lift,
Of course.
Marvin Harrison, after practice, after class, he's like the last one on the jugs as well. It's like he's been given a game by his dad. Like, hey, this is how this whole thing goes. I'm excited to see who becomes the guy out of this draft class because what Justin Jefferson has done,
Man.
just so quickly, boom, off and running, changing the thing. Everybody's hoping for that for the next one. Now, here's the next lying quote in the last one, and obviously it's close to home up there with New England. This is per Phil A. Perry. There are those in Jaden Daniels' camp who would really rather he not come to New England, and that's probably climate related. Now, I bring this one up mostly because whenever they say camp, what does that mean? Does that mean somebody that's...
I have no idea.
This is always how this goes, though. Like, the camp says this. It's like, what does that mean, the camp? This feels like the perfect iteration of lying season to maybe sway some Patriots people away from liking Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels doesn't want to come to your cold-ass town. Is that an accurate way to read this type of thing, or how much truth is there in this?
I can't imagine this is true. I mean, I know he's from, he grew up Arizona, played at Arizona State, LSU, but come on. You go to a team that's had such great history and tradition to it, just because it's a little cold, I can't even begin to fathom that. Like, whoever's saying that in his camp, is really, now there's two ways to look at this, right? He could be saying that because he doesn't think he's going to make it to the Patriots, so you got to draft me at number 2. Everything that you look at this stuff can go both ways, right? But why would a player not want to go to a team, especially when you know that the draft is slotted by money? It's all slotted by money. So if you go 3 and not 8, you're making a hell of a lot more money.
It's all awesome to follow.
You can buy ham warmers for the difference between 3 and 8. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're the best. All right. I appreciate you so much. Have an incredible day. Thank you for joining us, Paisan.
Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Lombardi.
Yeah, Lombo.
Now, Lombo, he doesn't bat 1,000 either.
Nope.
But he's been in all these seats,
Yeah.
and now he's doing the media thing. He's like, I know exactly how this all goes. He probably, when GM was potentially, he said you're playing poker. That means you're trying to get reads, trying to get signs, trying to send some things out. And people forget whenever you're bidding in this free agency, you can kind of get a guess on who else is in the game, but they're not just openly telling you, hey, this team is bidding this right now if this is what you want. It's kind of all blind auctioning on trying to figure out what it is. Not as easy in the GM chair as it appears on the internet with reports that aren't real, maybe real, somewhat real, kind of real, and everything around that.
One of the greatest scenes in cinema of all time is when Brad Pitt is the GM of the Oakland A's in Moneyball, and he's calling around to like 3 or 4 different GMs, and he's communicating with his right man and being like, he's lying, that's a lie, let's put this out there. Like, that's what I envision all these GMs are doing. And it makes this process, like this free agency thing, like this is one of the cooler times of the NFL season because of all those reasons.
Yeah. I concur completely. We have some breaking news out of Miami.
Oh, nice.
No.
Good news.
Jake Bailey, punter for the Dolphins,
Stud.
is signing a 2-year deal, $2.1 million per, 4.2 total. That is not Jake Bailey, that is Michael Pilardi in that photo.
Attaboy Schultz. Nailed it.
Jake Bailey's a righty. That is Pilardi, who's a lefty. That's why I was so confused while I was looking at that, because the photo does not match the name.
Fowler did tweet it too, so it is true.
The news?
Yes.
For the photo.
Hey, that baby Jake, happy for you. Remember, Jake was up there in New England.
Oh, yeah. For the brand.
I don't know if Jake got injured. Yeah, he did cleats for the brand for my wife's foundation. Fundraiser was last night.
Right.
Yes.
Over $2 million raised last night.
Hell yeah.
Pretty good.
In Indianapolis. Foundation, big fan of Jake Bailey out of Stanford. Ran into a little bit of a rut up in New England. I don't know if it was injury-based or if it was like technique-based or whatever the case was. He ends up leaving. Now he's at Miami, same division, 2-year deal for you. Good. That's good money. And for you guys, that's good money. I feel like this is a good deal for both sides.
Here we go. Right on.
Look at that. You guys are winning.
Oh, yeah.
Christian Wilkins is gone, but guess what? You're going to be pinning him deep.
Got a new tight end, too. Dolphins to make a move. Super Bowl back on.
No, it doesn't sound like that's how you feel.
No, definitely.
No, you've been pretty negative about it all.
Well, Christian Wilkins is a very big loss to that team.
Didn't Xavier Howard say that doors closed on me coming back to the Dolphins as well?
It's all right. Hey, with every new beginning.
That's right.
Yep.
It comes from some other beginning's end.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams are entering a next chapter. Consider Dolphins one of them. Previous chapter was very explosive and very small.
Yes.
But the next one's going to be the best, just like our next hour when we're back on the other side in 3. See you then.
Wrestling live.
That's it, too.
We have another minute.
Yeah.
Well, this is a
We
good,
have 44 more seconds.
Yep.
which is a perfect time, though.
The thing about this Feel Good Friday is that sometimes you have to remind yourself that a break is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you do not expect it.
Right.
Because the weekend is right around the corner. So sometimes you throw to a commercial break just to remind yourself, hey, take it easy on yourself.
Yeah.
Remind yourself that this weekend's going to be the greatest of all time. With that being said, hour 2 is on the other side of this 3-minute break. And when we get back, it's going to be the best one of all time.
Yeah, you were a little distraught this morning. We all thought Lincoln Riley died. So who would have thought, going into the second hour?
We'll see you in 3 minutes. Have a good one.
Hello and welcome to Office Championship Wrestling live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight we have a straight to hell match in which the Devil will battle against our office wrestler, Dylan Boston. You might be wondering how we got here. Let's find out right now.
And now we have to make a deal with the Devil.
Yeah, no big deal. Classic trial by combat situation. We got our champion, Dylan Bostic. All he's got to do, win the match, 1, 2, 3, and we're home safe.
The only man that would take the job to protect us from the Devil himself, Dylan Boston.
Like you mentioned, Pat, there's probably about 5 or 6 other guys we'd rather have in this position. But we'll take Bostic, I guess.
Not only are all of our souls on the line, the Office Championship Wrestling Championship, presented by Natural Light, is also on the line.
Jesus, the Devil's trying to put Bostic right to hell!
I do not want to go
Good
to
God,
hell!
no!
Don't do
Good
it!
God, no! Come on, Bostic, Pat!
Oh, no! Oh, my...
I'll see you in hell, Pat. The goddamn Easter Bunny's out here! What the hell's he doing here?
The Easter Bunny is obviously here to help Dylan Bostic. Wait a minute. No!
Oh, no!
The Easter Bunny's been on the Devil's side this whole time. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! Jesus
What the hell's
Christ!
Jesus Christ doing here?
The power of Christ is compelling Dylan Bostic.
Look at this, Pat! Jesus Christ is bringing Bostic back to life! Jesus is going insane! And now Bostic's kicking wholesale ass in the ring!
Jesus Christ has come to help Dylan Bostic defeat the Devil and defeat the Easter Bunny. What's gonna happen here?
Good God Almighty, it looks like he's going up in the scissor lift!
Jesus is lifting the scissor lift. Jesus is now telling Bostic to come down.
Don't do it, Bostic! Don't do it! Oh my God! Bostic's dead! He's dead! You can't tell from home, but that scissor lift is about 8 stories up, Pat!
80 feet in the air! Oh, wait! He's tuning up the bed! The Devil!
Super kick! Into the casket! The Devil goes down! The Devil goes down!
He shuts the casket!
And
Back to
that's
hell! The Devil goes straight back to hell, where he belongs!
it! With the assist from Jesus Christ of Nazareth!
Dylan Bostic saves the PMI office's souls and wins the OCW championship.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel-Good Friday, March 8th, 2024. Hour 2 of this program starts now. Sports are fantastic, and we're lucky to talk about them every single day. I would like to give a big-time shout-out to Jill at Master Control over at ESPN, because when I sent this particular program to a commercial break 1 minute earlier than I was supposed to last hour, they had a full, whoa, did we mess something up? You did not, Jill. I believe it's Women's Day over there in control. Hey, you ladies are crushing.
Let's go.
It was the men. It was the men that messed that up. Joe, we appreciate the hell out of you and everybody else that is back in ESPN every single day that we are live who like our show.
Yeah.
Nice.
For those that don't, to hell with all you.
Right.
But for those that like us, we appreciate you. And Jill, keep crushing it. The Talks the Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here. What are we gambling on? What do we got this weekend?
This weekend is a huge CBB weekend. The conference tournaments have started. I don't know if they've started for the major conference.
Hold on. So I saw Pepperdine was up 40-2.
Yeah. They did not let up. They won by 50, I'm pretty sure.
Is Pepperdine good?
They are a great WCC team.
So no. The answer, I
West
think,
Coast
is
Conference.
No, of course, the West Coast Conference.
I would ask Gumpy this question, to be honest.
Gump, is Pepperdine good?
They're decent, not great. I think they'll lose today probably to UC San Diego, but we'll see. We got the...
he has a take on the UC San Diego
we
Pepperdine
got the
basketball.
Iowa quarterfinals for the women's conference tonight against Penn State.
There it is.
What's going on?
The women's conference tournaments have started.
Yeah, Big Ten
Quarterfinals,
tournament has
Iowa,
started.
Penn State.
Right tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, 6:30.
Okay, Caitlin Clark's playing basketball tonight.
You got it.
That's what I just heard.
Correct.
Where at?
Minneapolis is where
No.
the Big Ten tournament is.
Where can I?
I want to say that it might be on Fox or Big Ten Network.
Oh, Caitlin Clark is not on Big Ten Network.
She's been on Big Ten Network a couple times.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised by that because I heard that there was a chance, and this was internet fodder, that Fox was thinking about putting an NIL deal together for Caitlin Clark, or the conversation was like talked about to put an NIL deal together for Caitlin Clark. Like, hey, another year at Iowa, maybe, huh?
Smart.
Maybe we do this thing yet. That was not confirmed. I'm just saying it was hypothesized in the internet world.
Yeah, it was.
And in my head, I was thinking, that's good. That would be a smart business move.
It was like the head of TV for Fox Sports basically put out a tweet like, "Hey, yeah, why don't you consider coming back next year?" Like, and then I don't know if it was actually confirmed, but I saw there's some rumblings about if Iowa makes it to the Big Ten championship, yeah, they're putting it on CBS, which is big time viewership.
And on this International Women's Day, of course,
obviously,
hell yeah, women.
Yep,
every day.
Shout out, women,
crushing it.
Shout out to the women in all of our lives. We've been watching as we grow older and start our families now what women are capable of doing.
That's right.
The pregnancy thing, I hope every man has to watch a woman go through pregnancy and then see what you got to say afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Just see what you got to say afterwards, let alone the pregnancy and the human growing inside of a body and the way your organs are just shifting. And how there's new things getting pumped through your body to create another life. So, like, not only are you balancing the body, which is in pain, but also the mental, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then getting human out of body. Now that's a whole nother. So shout out to the ladies.
Shout out.
Legends.
We appreciate that. Not only that, for everything else, but you just, if you're not a shout out to the ladies person out there, which you're an idiot, but like, the pregnancy thing is wild. It is absolutely wild. It's one of the greatest feats I think I've ever seen physically and mentally. Shout out to the ladies tonight. Shout out to Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
it's on what? CBS.
That's the Big Ten championship on Sunday is on CBS
Tonight's Big Ten Network.
Yeah,
Tonight's Big Ten Network. Who's on the other side here? Ohio State?
Ohio State is the 1 seed. Iowa is the 2 seed. So.
Okay, so they could run into each other.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Caitlin Clark basketball. We will watch that. Joining us now is a man who was a part of the regular season Big Ten Women's College Basketball Championship.
Yep. Hell yeah.
He has a tree on the campus, actually.
He does.
Synonymous with the campus because he's a college football national champion. He's also a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the current president of Ohio, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah,
AJ, you guys won the regular season Big Ten championship, the Ohio State women's team. Congratulations.
Congrats, AJ.
Congrats, Ohio.
Congrats. That doesn't punch your ticket to the tournament, right? If you win the Big Ten tournament, then you get in no matter what your record, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, but I think if you were to lose early in the Big Ten tournament, you would still make it in, right? Because you won.
Get some rest. You get some good rest, actually, for the tournament.
Ohio State is confirmed at large. A lot of people are speculating that if Ohio State and Iowa make it to the championship together, they might both get 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament.
Which would be good for the NCAA tournament because obviously Ohio State's support of the women's basketball, not that it isn't like this everywhere, pretty insane in the Iowa support. And I think they have home games, right, in the women's?
Yes, they have a home regional.
Yeah, so they're going to want that. Good
idea.
Yeah, I think that's good. Women's college basketball this year was fun to watch.
Yeah, incredible.
It helped me. There was nights where there was nothing on, and it was I enjoyed the hell out of it.
For sure.
So good luck to all of them. And if we get an LSU or South Carolina, Iowa situation again,
come on.
We have to. I mean, it has to end up like that, doesn't it? Who else? Are there a bunch of other teams that are challenging now to get up in that top tier?
Stanford is the only one. Stanford, Ohio State, Iowa.
Yeah.
So isn't UConn, Notre Dame also normally good? Is that not the case anymore?
UConn's down a little bit, but I still think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
South Carolina's still nasty.
Yep. And then there's also a couple, like Virginia Tech's very
South
good.
Carolina's undefeated. I'm pretty.
How about West Virginia? We're obviously very good.
I don't think you guys are worth the shit, but I haven't seen them play, so
I
I'm
did
not
see Huggy Bear
positive.
was back.
They're pacing themselves, yeah.
You guys are bad at basketball.
Huggy Bear was back seeing the seniors.
Across the board.
What do you mean we're bad?
It's a bad program.
Hey, senior day. That means they're good. Senior day means good.
Actually, funny enough, everyone.
Yeah, but Phil Brown got extended, so good news for WVU
His
athletics.
name's Neil.
Phil.
The football coach you're talking about, Tone?
Yep.
I'm done with this. This is not how this is going to go. This is not how this is going to go.
Garrett Green. I'm not saying anything about the football.
GG's about to run wild.
Yeah, they proved me wrong.
He's been posting videos of him throwing the rock shirtless. He looks cool.
Okay.
And we're talking, you know that one Instagram account, like the Perfect Spiral? That guy who throws that perfect spiral?
Oh, yeah.
That's what GG's balls are looking like right now.
Wow.
Yeah, he had an 8K camera sitting behind him, GG. We're talking about Garrett Green, about to run wild for West Virginia. Did run wild, end of the season last year. Won a lot of games last year.
Yep. 8-4.
A lot of games. Big 12 is our conference now.
Should be, because the Big 12 is an absolute crapshoot now that Texas and Oklahoma are gone.
Yeah.
It's always been West Virginia's.
It's yours for the taking. I think it's your guys' for the taking.
For the taking. We've had it.
Doesn't Herbie owe you something for that?
Yeah, we're going to.
Anything.
I'm going to announce this now, even though it has not been scheduled and we have no idea if it's possible.
Okay.
Me and Kirk Herbstreit will be doing a live show at a theater in Morgantown where the ticket money that is raised will be donated 50-50 to the NIL and to the Children's Hospital down there right across the parking lot from the stadium.
Hell yeah.
So thank you to Kirk Herbstreit for paying up on his bet.
That boy, Kirk.
Thank you for doing that. Giving back to the
game day will be there 5 or 6 times this year, probably. You have plenty of opportunities.
See, that's what you Ohio people do. That's what you Ohio.
I'm not joking. You said they gave the coach, not Phil Brown, but Neil Brown, an extension. So obviously they're up and coming.
Up and cut. We have arrived a long time ago.
The climb has been
climb the mountain.
All right, let's go.
Trust the climb.
That's an announcement, though. We're doing.
Yeah, that's sweet.
We have no
really
idea if that's even possible. Have not ran that by Herbie, but that doesn't matter.
No.
You lost her.
Do it.
That's whatever you want.
That's kind of how that goes. You're playing too, Herbie.
Boom.
You're playing.
And we get his dog Peter.
And Ben.
Yep.
And
Bring
Ben.
Peter over.
And Peter and Ben. And when you're flying, you're coming to pick us up, and then we're going.
Yes.
Boom.
You know what I mean? That's what we're doing. So, raising money for West Virginia for the kids.
Yeah.
Man,
For the
good
football
guys.
team. Herbie, you're a good guy, Herbie.
Man,
Hey, baby, Herbie.
superstar. And we get dogs.
Thanks, Kirk.
Sorry, enjoy that time with Ben. He's going to be Thunderdome's dog now.
We get 2 of Kirk's dogs.
Keep your sons at home, okay?
All right, let's talk about some stuff happening in the NFL. couple deals were done. Jalen Johnson with the Chicago Bears has signed a 4-year, $76 million deal. This is being reported. We have no idea if it's real. Once again, everything is potentially not real that is talked in the sports world because everybody has an angle in their reporting. I'm not saying Jordan Schultz has an angle, but the agent who potentially gives the amount of money that these deals are worth certainly has an angle because if he does spruce it up a little bit, it sounds bigger. He's a better business person for future potential clients. But what's being reported by Jordan Schultz of the Schultz Report, who just had a picture of Michael Lombardi, who's actually supposed to be Jake Bailey, he's reporting $76 million, 54.5 guaranteed. One of the best young players in football is secured in Chicago. There was a run like 6 straight games or 5 straight games where he had a pick.
Dude, he was awesome.
He is phenomenal at football. They've invested now with Sweat and Jalen Johnson big into this Eberflus defense. They obviously sit in a beautiful place with the number 1 overall pick. Justin Fields is allegedly on the market, but that hasn't happened yet. And Ryan Poles said that he would do it early if it was going to happen. So we have no clue what's going to take place, but we do know they got a couple pillars on the defensive side. AJ, how do you feel about the move? And this kind of sets a market now for the rest of free agency.
Yeah, it does. And we always want to talk about, the contracts are usually not what the agent will report at first, but $54 million guaranteed. That's all you need to know right there. Like, you want a big chunk of that guaranteed in the first 2 or 3 years of the deal. But yeah, this guy's a stud. And I think the Bears defense flies under the radar. They had they have players. The Bears are a team that honestly could surprise some people next year, I think.
Eberflus, dude. When he was with the Colts, the reason why he's a head coach as a defensive guy is because what he was able to do and turn the Indianapolis Colts defense into. And then you heard the way every single player that played for him talked about him. Like when I think his name, he was going by Darius at the time, but Shaquille Leonard came out and talked about Eberflus. It's like, hey, this is the type of defense we have. We work, we fly to the ball, we do everything that you would hope a defensive coordinator in a defense would do. And he turned that defense, I think they had 4 Pro Bowlers or 5 Pro Bowlers.
What a play.
And then he gets his head coaching job. And obviously Chicago Bears have been in flux for however many years, decades, whatever the case is. And it's like the defense in the middle of that season feels like they caught on.
Yeah.
Like it is, okay, this is Eberflus's culture happening. That's why the whole conversation about Justin Fields, are you going to make a big-time change because the team seemingly is buying into what you've been pitching for a couple years? It's an interesting time for the Chicago Bears, AJ.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is just kind of hanging out waiting to see what happens with the quarterback situation. So is there anyone out there claiming any kind of rumors? First off, these highlights we're showing of him,
insane.
Unbelievable. Both physically and mentally, what he is doing in some of these clips is awesome.
He jumped on that ball. He jumped on that ball before TJ even turned. TJ wasn't even turned, and he was breaking on that ball. It's like he knew exactly
he
what
sees the concepts. He looks good. Just watching him, not taking the bait. Oh, here we go. Those clips are fun to watch. That's why the Bears are a team that can absolutely surprise some people. But is there anyone out there that thinks Justin Fields is going to be on the Bears next year?
No, but that's all we've been told, though, by the people in the know at the time. So it's but is that real? Eberflus was sitting with LaFleur. Do you think that came up in conversation? I would assume.
Probably.
I would assume LaFleur's man, don't envy your position.
Yeah, that sucks.
I had Aaron, and then Jordan.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah. We're not going to make another decision in 10, 15 years.
No.
But
what if he told him, we're taking Caleb. We're taking Caleb. Don't worry about
What
it.
if Eberflus, I mean, what do you have to keep guarded, I guess, for 4 quarters? Was that halves or quarters there?
Halves.
It was halves, okay, because women's girls basketball is quarters.
Correct.
Yes.
Boys
Yeah,
basketball.
what is with that? Why do we do that? Why are the boys playing 2 halves?
They always have.
And less time.
I know, exactly. That's not an answer.
It was an answer. I don't know if it was the right answer.
Well, that's what a bad coach tells you. Hey, coach, why do we do it this way? Because that's how we've always done it.
Well, it's less time, too.
I'd have to talk to Dr. Naismith. I don't know.
I'm not mad at you, Tom. I'm mad at
He is kind of mad that you use that as an answer, though, because, that answer has invoked a lot of,
a lazy answer. Just a lazy answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Why we do it? Always been this way.
Yeah.
So we're
going to continue to do it this way.
That's how it works. I'm not getting into it.
Well,
it is the only basketball, whether amateur or professional, that's going by halves.
Sure.
It's stupid.
It's weird.
It is dumb, actually, now we're talking
like,
about it.
Not as dumb as soccer. Their clock.
Amen, brother.
I don't want to even bring it up. I don't even know how to do this. We're not getting. It's not even about soccer. I was talking about something else.
Where are you going with this?
I was talking about I saw somebody in a microphone last night addressing the entire nation. Okay.
Who?
Okay.
Well, he made an announcement that Lincoln Riley was dead. Okay. Yep. And then I get on my phone after this event that we're at, and it's Lincoln Riley, and it's like he's trending all over. I'm like, I quit. He's dead. Lincoln Riley's dead.
What?
Wait a second. Who said that? President. Lincoln Riley's dead.
Thought he ran a deep
How's
ball.
this happen? And then there was a response. It's like, that's a world that just does stuff.
Did he really? Honestly, I just saw Lincoln Riley's name trending. I didn't look any further into it.
No, I saw his name trending. I'm like, wait, he was just on the show. I was like, what did Lincoln Riley do? Because Caleb Williams, obviously, this is all, there's so much in there. And then the first one was X's take, which is always going to be with a side of savage.
Sure.
Always going to be with a side of troll. You know, that's how it's going to be. And it was like Lincoln Riley's dead or whatever. Not like the first thing I saw was Lincoln Riley is dead. And I'm like, I have a moment of like,
what?
Really? And then I scroll a little bit further, and it's some GIF that somebody shows you. And it's like, what happened here? Is that world not the most? This is just how this works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It is, right?
Yeah.
By far.
That's why we all got so mad when you said that's how it's always been. That's why.
You're right. You're right. That's all me.
That is legitimately why.
That's all me.
Could you imagine if you click on that and Lincoln Riley's running like a deep ball go route and Biden's just hitting him in stride for a touchdown?
He's up there at that thing, and I don't know where he's speaking at. Where does he speak at when he does that thing where the two people are always sitting on both sides and they're either like
Congress or where?
House, yeah.
Where is that?
I don't know.
Does anybody know where that is?
That's where Gonzo showed
Yeah,
us.
it's in the Capitol building.
Okay, so that's the Capitol building. So all those humans there are the people that work in the Capitol. Those are the senators.
The House.
Congressman.
Is that where AQ and his buddies broke into?
Yeah,
that was your birthday.
On your birthday, January 6th? Yeah, is that the same place where the moose?
I believe so.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are showcasing to you that we don't know anything about this world. It's not good. We'll get into it some point. We're not the right people to solve it.
No.
But on that note, could you imagine if Lincoln Riley does do like a slant in between like 100 of those senators?
Yeah. Mitch McConnell just mossing him.
Oh, his last thing he does, stands up, mosses him, freezes.
It's a magic trick.
And then gets up.
Yep.
Sharpest attack.
Yeah.
Sharpest
attack.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's still sharp as attack.
Anyways, hey, political people, maybe a couple more slant routes. You know, maybe a couple more slant routes will bring everybody together. That was some wild news to wake up to.
Yeah, that was.
To come out of that fundraiser too, like, Lincoln Riley's dead. Wait a second. And then you hear the actual story, and it's like, whoa, that's not
even.
That's happening. Wait a minute. Hey, smart people, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Go get him, DC.
Figure it out. Chris Jones, fake reported to have signed back with the Kansas City Chiefs. This came after Chris Jones, Stone Cold Jones, tweet on X with a picture of Andy Reid celebrating with him after a Super Bowl, a phone call that has lasted an hour, if you see on the top of the screen there, and then him saying KC ... I immediately thought, oh, this means he is back with the Kansas City Chiefs. A deal has been done, hour long. They have agreed to terms here. But it also could have been this could be a little public leverage play.
Yeah.
This could be a little public leverage play by Chris Jones now that it hasn't been officially announced, because there was a couple fake reports. McCockners all over the internet were reporting a deal was done. And a lot of people around the NFL who have interest in defensive line deals, Cam Hayward celebrated, Michael Parsons celebrated. Obviously, they're directly affected by somebody who's considered the best in the game, getting a brand new contract. There's a new market. So I believe that my initial reaction was a deal is done or close to getting done between the Chiefs and Stone Cold Jones, who's a game wrecker, not only because of the drunk speech, but also because of the photo. But now as time continues to roll out without anything being officially announced other than a McCockner or two, or a Schnefter or two, it's like, was that a leverage play? Where are we? What do you think, AJ? What are your thoughts on this entire thing?
Man, I don't know. I assumed it was done, or it was very, very close to being done. I wonder what could be like the final hang-up, but do we have any idea what the numbers might look like on this deal?
Will it be a hometown discount, too? Because Chris Jones, he could hit the market.
Yep.
And remember...
Wait, so they can't tag him, obviously?
No, because they tag Snead.
So man, why wouldn't he... Man, if they let him hit the market, he's going to get monster offers.
Which I would assume that, his agents, the Katz brothers, they're good agents. Good people. They're humans, though, too. They're humans. I've enjoyed my interactions with them every single time that I've chatted with them. And I forget which one did it, but one of them tweeted during the parade.
Yes.
Like, hey, cut him off while he's giving the speech about like that's self-awareness. Like I enjoy that type of stuff. But I assume there's people telling him like, hey, if you were to hit the market, you weren't able to last year. If you were to hit the market, we feel like there's a big upside for you. Like, we're just doing our job telling you that this could happen. But Chris Jones probably, I'm hoping at least for the sake of just like everything we know about Chris Jones, and not saying it's the right thing and he has to do this, but just like the feeling we have is like, seems like I get a sense he wants to be a part of like what they're doing. You know, like going back to back to back has never happened. You heard Patrick Mahomes literally say that 2 days after, or literally immediately after the Super Bowl, was like, nobody's ever won 3 in a row ever in the history. It's like, that's immortality. You know, that's the 72 Dolphins who go undefeated, who still pop bottles. It's like doing something that's never been done before can be very motivating. Will that motivate Chris Jones to potentially take less money than he's obviously able to get out if he was to go see the market? I assume that's the conversation that's taking place, you know, at some point in there.
Probably seeing his agent at the combine, probably talking to other teams, getting an idea, hey, what would you offer us, you know, if we hit the market? What would you offer Chris? What do you have in line? And then trying to compare that to whatever the Chiefs are offering him, I guess, and seeing, hey, is it worth it? Because he's definitely going to take a little less money if he stays in Kansas City than if he hits the open market. We know that, but seems like he wants to win.
So Aaron Donald is in a league of his own. He's getting $31.6 a year. But then Quentin Williams is second. He got paid last season. He's getting $24 a year. Jeff Simmons is getting $23.5 a year. Deron Payne is getting $22.5 a year. So
it would have to be at least 20 something.
It's got to be 25 probably, right? If Quentin Williams just got 24 last year.
Yeah, but
and Aaron's getting 31, it's got to be.
But if they babyfaced and said he took a hometown discount, like 20 feels like the number if you're hometown discounting it. Like 15 is way too low.
Yep.
That would be $9 million less than Quentin. That would be way too much.
Hargrave got 21 last year when he went to the Niners.
And what was Wilkins looking for? What was the number? It was like 21 or whatever that they couldn't get to, because he's probably going to get the 25 or the Quentin Williams.
And Wilkins is hoping like Hill that Chris Jones signs back with Kansas City.
Yes.
Well,
yes, he is.
Or maybe, you know, Tyrann Mathieu leaves, they bring in Snead. Like,
true.
The Chiefs have in the past been like one vet for another, you know, and kind of.
How many years has Chris Jones played?
Great question. I'm trying to think back to when I saw him run at 40. And him and
I remember that 40.
He's 29 years old.
He was
6.
I've never seen somebody get weighed down from the middle.
Oh, boy, that was amazing.
Because normally, like, your center of balance is here.
Yep.
Instead, it was where the anchor was. He defied science. I think that's why he's so good, is he defies science.
So he's Chris Jones 29, Christian Wilkins is 28. If that.
So that's similar to what happened
yeah.
with Tyrann Mathieu Snead situation. And I think they get less money.
Yeah, Justin Reed.
There it is, Justin Reed.
Yeah, they brought him in, and it was basically the same exact deal.
Yeah, from Houston, and he kicked for them. He ended up kicking for them as well, Justin Reed. Everybody in Kansas City wants Chris Jones back. I wonder if that's what that tweet was, too. About. Like, you know?
Or maybe he knew Drew Tranquil was signing last night.
Hey, congrats to Drew Tranquil signing back with the Chiefs. Travis Kelce, everybody was kind of celebrating that. He was seemingly
huge down the stretch when injuries.
A great addition.
Yeah, when when Willie Gay got hurt, he filled in perfectly.
Culture-wise as well.
Yes.
Felt like they gravitated to him. They liked him, too. It felt like the Kansas City Chiefs players liked him, and he loved being Kansas City Chief. Talking his shit.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking his shit. And I think you didn't hear anybody from Kansas City say, like, yeah, we got some new guys talking. It was a complete other, like, we love Drew Tranquil. Steve Spagnuolo talked about how big of an impact that he had on the team. He loved him as well. And if you remember, defense coordinator Steve Spagnuolo said all 11 guys on the field for us have high football IQ. That is including Drew Tranquil, who came in and made an immediate impact.
Come on.
And I think he's beloved in Kansas City quickly and is already a Super Bowl champion. Good for him, as his career has taken quite an awesome turn. He is back with the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, Hunter Henry has re-signed with the Patriots on a 3-year deal. Congrats to Hunter Henry.
Hell yeah.
He was a part of the big 2 tight end signing day, and then he's the last one standing. He re-signs long-term with a coaching staff that has been around. He must have a lot of respect in the building. Yeah. That's what this tells me, is that new head coach, obviously been around. You're going to re-sign a guy that you've had there. We respect him. Let's do this. Let's keep it moving. Good for the Patriots. We're happy about this.
Yeah, 100%. He's been our best weapon the last 3 years, no doubt about it, especially in the receiving game. And to your point, every year after the offseason. Since he's come in, Belichick has praised him like, hey, Hunter Henry has gotten better once again. So I think all of New England will be happy about this deal.
Tyrann Mathieu, we were just talking about him, formerly of the Chiefs and with the Saints. Well, he has signed another 2-year deal with the Saints. Congrats to Tyrann Mathieu and to the Saints. He went to LSU, obviously one of the greatest college football players of all time. Once again, this is Nick Underhill reporting this, and he is a local Saints beat writer. I think he's been on our show before and Feel the Beat. So he knows people. He is very plugged in, but who knows what money's real and what money isn't. But $13.75 million max, $10 million guaranteed. Congrats to the Honey Badger. Still cooking.
Honey Badger.
Still cooking out there. There's a lot of things happening down there in New Orleans. Michael Thomas, wide receiver of the Saints for a while, formerly of the
Ohio State University.
Stud wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Riddled with injuries that kind of happened at unfortunate times and recoveries that didn't, connect and happen as quick as I think everybody had hoped, but a massive talent, and made a lot of big-time plays for the Saints. He just said, you know what, it needs to be said.
He's done with it.
Jeff Duncan is a hoe. Yeah. Jeff Duncan is a hoe. Trying to stay relevant, so let's speak on it. The Saints leak information to him to try to ruin players' value. But see, I'm not broke, so I can speak on it. He is broke, so he needs clicks. Go look at all his articles that never end up being true. Jeff Duncan, funny how they plan on releasing me if I was on a 1-year deal, dummy. Don't fall for it. The same dude that tried to be my friend in season after saying I wasn't the same player in training camp. Hashtag next topic. The only reason why I bring this up, not because Michael Thomas dunked on the Duncan. We don't know the Duncan.
No.
And we appreciate the Duncan covering football for all these years.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That first sentence is awesome.
I don't know you. I do know Michael Thomas. He and you do not get along, apparently.
Not right now.
I don't think you two are friends right now. I just want to do some journalism and looking in between the words that he's saying there, 3-letter words, too, at the first sentence. But this goes into the whole we're in the middle of Lions season right now.
Yeah.
We got to remember that, and we're players, I guess, and Michael Thomas is as well. So maybe you buy into the conspiracies a little bit more. But whenever you see stuff that isn't true at all being ran with and gone and potentially affecting things in the future, it's like this has to be on purpose. And then you start talking to people that are like ex-GMs and in those positions, you're like, oh yeah, we are certainly doing that. What was his name? The guy who owned the
David Sampson.
David Sampson.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this? He came on our show. He was what, former president?
Yeah, of the Marlins.
Which is a baseball team.
Correct.
They're good.
Florida Marlins. They won a World Series within the last 20 years, so you could say they're good.
Hey, congrats to Marlins.
They blow.
Not great
No,
now.
they made the playoffs last year.
He came on our show, and he's a part of Lebitard's crew, I do believe.
Yeah.
He came on our show, and he would give us MLB updates, and he is electrifying when he's talking. And he was a president of an MLB team. That's a pretty powerful position. So, when you start asking him about that type of stuff, and he just starts, talking about his experience and other things like that, you start damn, that must be normal. He said, yeah, whenever you're thinking about releasing a player that is very popular with your fan base, you start releasing rumors about he's a bad teammate, he's doing this.
Clubhouse cancer.
Clubhouse, yeah, they don't like him. He's asking for ice, has 10 pieces of ice in every water. You start leaking these types of things that aren't true about him, so that the fans are like, oh, yeah. So whenever you inevitably trade your best player, they're like, well, we didn't need him. We need to get him out of here. And he goes, and I don't know why we can't all just get along. It's like, did you hear what you just said, what you've been doing to players? He goes, oh, if you think I created that, I got a bridge for you in Brooklyn that I could sell or whatever. And it was like every time we hear people that's baseball, obviously, that's the MLB. But the way he talks about it and what Lombo says about what's coming out, it's like everybody is potentially full of shit right now. And we as journalists have to remember that.
Yes, we do.
Don't we, AJ?
Wade through it.
Yeah, we got to sift through the garbage somehow. How do we do that?
I don't know if Jeff Duncan's a hoe.
Yeah,
we don't know that, but we
don't know.
We do know that the part of that situation was Michael Thomas's contract. In his contract it says the Saints have to release him, I think, on March 13th. So Duncan reporting that the Saints plan to release him is just him getting out there. That's why Michael Thomas was pissed. It's him getting out there to get clicks and making Michael Thomas look bad. The Saints are like, oh, you're done. We're releasing.
Hey, Jeff Duncan, let's go for you. You guys are going to get back on good grace.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Go get some ice cream.
Or they won't.
Definitely.
They need to shake hands. Go shake their hands. Yeah. Nick Saban's saying a lot of things about college football and the state of college football right now. And as I was reading the quotes, I didn't know if it was a Ballsack Sports quote.
Sure.
Or if it was like a Schnefter
Sure.
or like a Pete
Owner Garage.
Fannel instead of Famil.
Rapoport.
Like, I didn't know if it was like fake quotes or whatever, but like the way Nick Saban was breaking down why and how he potentially led to retiring from college football, greatest of all time, is pretty wide open about the state of college football. He said, I was really disappointed in the way that the players acted after the game. You got to win with class, you got to lose with class, and then showing your ass. How many times have you heard a coach say, you show your ass, you showing your ass and being frustrated and throwing helmets and doing that stuff? I thought we could have a hell of a team next year, and then maybe 70 or 80% of the players you talk to, all they want to know is two things. What assurances do I have that I'm going to play because they're thinking about transferring, and how much are you going to pay me? So I'm saying to myself, maybe this doesn't work anymore. So Nick Saban actually questioned whether or not his messaging was reaching the players anymore, because 70 to 80% of them didn't really seem to care about the family and growth and getting better and buy-in. All they cared about was, am I playing next year? And also, I'm here and I could potentially get about 70 to 80 grand more from this particular place instead of you. And Saban's like, how is this a member of a Saban football team?
Yeah.
You know, like he's thinking.
How was this my exit meetings? He's thinking, exit meetings, you usually go over, hey, how'd the season go? Like, it's, as a player, sometimes it's not great. Like, coaches should be honest with you. Now, all of a sudden, the players are coming to you and like grilling the head coach. It has to be a weird thing for guys like Saban.
Yeah, Saban's sitting there and like the first guy, all right, yeah, we'll talk about it, all thanks. Goes in, the first guy I talked to comes in and says,
kind of odd.
Next guy comes in, same things, well, a hell of a season. We didn't end up where we wanted to be. We got to get on this. I think for you, this offseason we need to work on is, I think maybe we get a little bigger, stronger, faster, obviously in the weight room. Need you to work on this. You do this a little bit, it'll be good. And then we do this. And the guy goes, okay, cool. Am I playing next year? Well, if you do all these things.
Let me stop you, coach. Let me stop you, coach.
Am I, so you're saying maybe playing? What is the, well, I think, yeah, you have an opportunity to potentially earn your way on the field. Okay, so that's a no, not guaranteed. Okay, got it. Coach, thanks. Also, so am I still expected to play on the same payment as this last year? Because Nevada State is telling me they'll pay me an extra $100 grand or whatever. I'm not even allowed to deal with the money situation that you're allowed to have. That's third party, independent party. I don't even know, but yeah, I assume that could get figured out. Okay, so that's a yes? All right, so no on guaranteed playing time. Yes on more money. You got it. All right, I'll get you into my schedule next week, actually.
Yeah, say it.
Saban's like, get me the hell out of here. Then you hear Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly just said on the show, like, nah, I don't want it to be a CEO. I would like to be a football coach. I'm going back to be an offensive coordinator for the sake of my sanity, it seemed like, is what Chip Kelly was saying. And then you see these older coaches, old buddy gets out of Boston College as a head coach. Hafley gets out, goes in there. And it's like there's going to be the next generation of coaches that are going to only know this and they're going to go through it. But it is wild that all the college football coaches seemingly are like, this is not even the same sport anymore, and we want to get the hell out of here. It's a wild time in college football right now, AJ.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't even know how much you get that in the NFL. Like, think about it. Like, you guys in the NFL, they're not bombarding the head coach with contract situations. They know you go talk to the GM and everything. Like, with your coach in the NFL, it's all ball pretty much. And the coach, like, yeah, you guys will figure out the contract situation. But yeah, so these college coaches are dealing with stuff that NFL coaches don't even have to mess with their players.
Every year.
Every probably 3 months. And then they have a lot of players have managers, I guess, that go out there and they find, like, if you're in the portal, that can go and get bids on what you, like, hey, what offers you might have from each school. Yeah, it's a different time, so you got to find a way. But with Saban saying that, so it sounded like he was gung-ho all ready to coach again, but then after all these meetings and everything, he's like, oh, man, like, he obviously must have had some kind of doubts, like, how much longer will I do it? But then that really reinforced it that I'm out of here.
And you know, all the chatter all year, and our show even got mentioned in it because they were like, you think Saban's doing Pat's show if he's not thinking about retiring? You think Saban's doing this 10 years ago if he's not thinking about retiring? So a lot of people are using it as ammunition against Coach Saban, that he was coming on our show, that he's retiring, so there isn't stability in Alabama. And a lot of Alabama people think like, oh, that's Georgia people putting that out. That's Tennessee. That's people that are trying to make it appear as if the future is, on the rocks. That's why they've been talking about it year after year after year after year for Saban. But there had to certainly be conversations with Miss
Miss Terry.
Miss Terry, who they're saying might get a statue out there throughout the entirety of this transition period of the NIL and how things are going. And he and Miss Terry maybe they're supposed to have a spot of tea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were supposed to have a spot of tea out on the back on the lake. And instead he has to go have a meeting with a manager of a 19-year-old who's on his team who didn't play last year but wants more money and a guaranteed playing time. But he and Miss Terry can't have a spot of tea that they were able to have for 20-something years. It's like, I wonder how many of those little things through the year are happening. And then whenever those meeting the terms to Coach Saban, for them to come back, he goes, Miss Terry, you're never going to believe this. And then they go down to that house on the beach, and he's sitting there probably looking at the ocean. And he turns around, and there's a mega mansion behind him. And he got all the trophies up there. It's like, I don't want to go back to that bullshit.
No.
Get me out of here. It is amazing, like, how many little things probably added to him just being like, I did it. I beat the guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and get out of there. And I appreciate that he's being as transparent as he's being. You know, because this is good news. Him saying this type of stuff and like being real and transparent and talking and everything, that's great for College Game Day. That's great for College Game. Like, as I'm reading those quotes, because I thought they were fake quotes, I'm like, okay, so Saban's being like real.
Wide open.
Like he's being very, very, very wide open and transparent. That's great news for Game Day, you know? Like, the amount of peppering of Saban on Game Day is, oh my God.
It's going to be amazing.
Think about me going, what do you know? You know, to anything, basically. And if I say something and he agrees with me, guy doesn't know ball. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick. Just the added element of a GOAT being up there is a hilarious process, but also the fact that he's going to be very transparent, I think, is good for the future of college football.
Yeah.
Because education of people that aren't directly involved in it, of what's actually happening, could lead to expedited change. You know, and that is a good thing, I think, for all parties.
Yeah, I mean, they need to get this fixed. Like this can't be like, oh, okay, we'll kind of go out through the next 3 to 5 years and kind of figure, and then make tweet. Like, they need to fix this now, or start realizing how they're gonna. Because otherwise, it is gonna be like this. You're gonna have all these older coaches who basically are just like, you know what, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this anymore. Or you're going to have a bunch of these kind of up-and-coming guys who, same deal. It's like Hafley. It's like, I'm not a coach anymore. I'm going to go to the NFL. I'm okay with being like a D-backs coach or a D coordinator. I don't need to be a head coach because I actually get to coach up there. And then we're just going to have probably a lot of schools where you have guys who maybe are getting head coaching jobs before they're ready to actually, as a whole, you could see how this could really diminish
quickly
the overall product. Yeah, because guys are just,
because this is development here.
Exactly.
These are development years. This is getting better as humans. This is getting better as athletes. This is getting better as football players. And it's like, that all needs to be reminded. I think, hey, we're still developing as humans at this time. You know,
think of you from your freshman year to your senior in college. You're a different human being, I feel like.
Well, and then you think about even 5 years removed from living, you know what I mean? You're so we got these 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds and 18-year-olds and 17-year-olds having to make decisions that 28-year-olds would probably normal. Now, granted, I know they're being introduced to things much quicker nowadays, business-wise, but it's we got to be able to. It's not players don't deserve money. I am on the complete opposite side of that. You could check my resume loud. Very loud about that, since literally the first time I ever got a chance to speak or learned about it in my first NCAA meeting my freshman year, where they went through this pamphlet about how we're getting screwed out of money, pretty much, is all I heard the entire time. For how long was that? It was 3 hours. It was 3 hour meeting.
It's the worst. Those compliance meetings were the worst things ever.
It was a 3 hour, 4 hour meeting, and I hate these. You got a bunch of suits coming in here just telling us how wrong we are about everything and how great they are, seemingly. And then all you think to yourself is, we're making all the money for all of you. And I see Pat White sitting right there and Steve Slayton right there, and they just built a whole new campus. And I got this guy with glasses on telling me amateurism is the reason why they can't make it. In my okay. Well, it seems like you are an amateur of business, because this is not how this goes. So I have been an advocate for players utilizing themselves to profit, like a pianist could who's in college, like people that are actors or singers can while they're in college and do their entire thing. That is all I'm saying. But what we need to protect players too. We need to protect the student human athletes as well. Not only financially, but them as humans. putting them in situations where they could potentially get like very sketchy contracts, like that could affect your life forever. Like people signing away 20% of future earnings and shit as 17-year-olds. It's like there should be some sort of, there has to be some sort of, this is what a contract can look like. This is what this is worth, because the people don't even know what market value is for anything. So people are agreeing to terrible deals just because they feel cool getting good deals. It's like that whole shit needs to get figured out. And with that being said, I don't know how.
Not at all.
Nobody does.
I don't know how that gets figured out.
But every team should have like an Andrew Brandt or like a general manager.
The head coach
type.
should be like a GM almost.
Well, but even that, it's like you're putting too much on him. Like bring
No,
someone
but don't
else.
coach. Like head coach is like GM, and you hire offensive head coach, OC, defensive head coach.
But then you end up with what happens with Chip Kelly, where these guys don't want to coach anymore. Don't
No,
you
that's
want
what I'm
those?
saying. I don't think it's a football coach. I think it's a scout that you give like a GM job to.
Yeah, exactly. Like every team gets a GM, and like that would.
I
help.
think that's who the head coach is going to become, though. Like I think the head coach
That sucks.
I think that's what it will
dumb.
have to be, unless you just add a.
Yeah, you just add a role that's just GM, just like an NFL franchise.
Fundraiser is the number one job of a head coach in college football, I feel like.
And they don't want to do that. Like that feels like an NIL thing.
I was at a fundraiser last night. A lot of money in our room.
Oh, congrats, Con Man, on that helmet.
Thank you very much, Hawker.
How about Zito and Talk?
Oh, yeah, that's a sweet Dale Jr. helmet. Also, shout out to Sam. That's a great move. I wish I was there to see.
Sam running them up.
Such a good, perfect.
And it's a text. It's an anonymous thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sam could be on her phone for anything. So Connor could not have,
You never think that the people at
How
the
much
table,
more money did you have to spend?
$800 more.
I love it.
He
She
just
should have
saved
ran up
so
even
many
more.
lives.
She should have
Yeah,
ran it up
she
even
should've.
more.
Bingo. It did save so many lives.
Yeah, $800 ain't doing nothing in the medical field. She should have ran it up a couple thousand.
She originally said she was going to put her max bid at like a crazy number.
And see?
Yeah. But she said she felt bad.
I had a number in mind where I would go to. I passed it, obviously, but still.
The
ended up with
video.
it.
Hey, you won.
The video of you. I think Brandy has it. Sam described it. It was dark in the car where I was watching, so I didn't get to see it because I was driving. But she puts a bid in, and then you take your hat off, wipe your sweat, and then go back into a bid. He's like, such a hilarious, just scene that is happening because you're actually sweating it over there.
Yes, I very genuinely wanted this. I wanted to leave with this.
Sam was having the time of her life.
Yes.
And just watching you physically go through it, not only mentally, was awesome.
Yeah.
And anybody else that was in that room that was competing against you knew that they could run you up. You were giving away too much.
Well, that was the first rule that I have learned at one of those, especially a silent auction. You never tell anyone what you want, especially the friends, quote unquote, at your table. But
family.
Yeah, family, if you will, at your table. But hey, I beat a McAfee in something. It's like the first time that's ever happened.
No, she beat you.
No, who left with the helmet?
She didn't want it.
Well, guess what?
I would say Sam won this one.
Yeah, Sam won.
I'm going to take it as a win because she was bidding on it, so she wanted it.
That's your truth.
Yeah, your truth. Hey,
Bingo, that is my
congratulations,
truth.
Connor.
Thank you very much.
The real winners are the kids, guys. Come on.
Amen. That's who we do it for, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. You're 100% right. The amount of for the kids I dropped on people last night asking for them to spend another $20,000 was crazy.
FTK.
Nice public for kids.
Uh-huh.
A couple drunks in there were getting a little bit antsy.
Yeah, me too. That's all I kept telling myself.
You didn't do any live auction stuff. You kind of got lazy.
No, well, me and Bruce wanted to pop up real quick.
Sounds like they were too expensive.
Austin Coley was there. He's a money guy now. He's in the money world. Sweet, slicked back.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Sweet suit.
Still jocked.
Dude, he looks so cool. I was like, you look like a suit right now. I go, come on. And he said to me, about halfway through, I got a presentation I'm going to do. A lot of high net worth people in here. I'd like to do some business, if we need to do that whole thing. And I just started laughing into this. He said he was going to bid at the first one, like the first bid, and go, oh, I got outbid or whatever. And he said he thought to himself, I would probably force him in it, for the rest of the time.
No, he'd have to leave the building for sure.
Yeah, the amount of public, just the whole room would have been saying, Austin Coley, professional football player, money guy. Yeah, you want to give to the kids, you can put the pressure on them. There's money being moved around the NHL right now. Joining us is a man who's very active and very busy, especially on this particular day, which is trade deadline day in the NHL. We can never forget that hockey is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, 11 years in the NHL as a goaltender, Kevin Weeksy.
What's up?
Okay,
what's going on?
Hey, Weeks,
Talk to me.
we apologize for interrupting a very busy day as an insider.
It's all good.
And a pundit for the NHL on his trade deadline day. Let's talk about a couple of the big ones. Big Rig, Patty Maroon, is moved to the Boston Bruins. He has heat, I think, with every member of the Boston Bruins. How did this deal come together, and how does that type of thing normally sort itself out in the locker room?
Okay, so first of all, for Boston, they've had a great year, and then this last 10-game stretch, they've squandered some late leads. They had a big win against Toronto Maple Leafs yesterday, of course. So the biggest thing now for the Bruins is they needed a little bit more depth. They want to shore up their depth. Patty Maroon's won 3 Stanley Cups. They know that he knows what it takes to win. He has that experience. He has the playbook. He's got the recipe book for winning the Stanley Cup. Boom. So they bring him in, low-cost move, depth move. I like it for Patty, and I like it for the Bruins as well.
Yeah, and Maroon and the Bruins have certainly thrown hands. I believe Brad Marchand has actually told Patty Maroon that he owns him.
Bitch.
Yeah, in the past, there's a lot of heat, you know, and especially with Tampa, Boston those years.
There's a lot of heat, but you know what Patty has to do? Patty just has to flash his 3 rings. That's all he's got to do.
And
3, and say, hey, fellas, we're here to get the 4th. I'm here to get my 4th and get you guys another one because the Bees won in 2011, as you know. I heard you talking when I was waiting to come on the show. You were talking about a money guy. Well, you're a money guy. I heard you're a money guy, too. I know you're a Yinzer, but you're a money guy.
No, I'm not moving people's money into different things. That's money guys. They're dealing with bees, Weeks. They're dealing with bees up there in that particular world. And not a lot of risk. They act like it's big risk. It's like, it's not your money.
No. Yeah, get out of here.
It's somebody else's. I mean, good on you. Yeah. They're going to get mad you lose that amount of money, but also he's not yours.
That's the game.
So
got that right.
So I'm not a money guy. Speaking of money guys, though, let's move along to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Last question from me before the boys have some. Gensel and Kuznetsov go to Carolina. Sid was asked last night about Gensel potentially trading. What message does that send? And he said, I don't know. You're going to have to ask them, meaning the front office, who's doing the trading. Pens are dead here. What's going? What are we? What are we doing, Weeksy? And everybody seemed to know that Gensel was on the move for like the last couple weeks. That is not good for the Pittsburgh Penguins, seemingly.
Listen, I think when you heard Sid, you'd never hear Sid say anything. And when Sid came out and said that, that tells you everything. So to me, the Pittsburgh Penguins right now, there's some frostbite in Pittsburgh. And they got great fans there in your hometown, but there's some frostbite in the fact that Jake Gensel was the number 1 piece on the trade board, especially as a forward. He was far and away the number 1 piece. I thought the return would have even been juicier than what they got in exchange for him. We just finished talking to Jake Gensel. We just did a little pre-tape with him here at ESPN, and he's excited. Of course, it's conflicting emotions, but he was such a key piece of those Stanley Cup wins in Pittsburgh. And by the way, playing on Sidney Crosby's line, so the Canes are going to get a multi-Stanley Cup champ, high-energy player, a player that fits in with them. But it's a sad day in Pittsburgh right now, I can tell you. And I thought the return would have been juicier, too.
Yeah, he's played on Sid's line seemingly since he's like 18 years old. And he has benefited, but so has Sidney. Sidney is a playmaker. He's a point guard whenever he has to be. And Gensel and he seem to always be on the same page. Always. He knew exactly where Sid wanted him to be. There was seemingly from jump, they just had a chemistry. So when his contract was up, I actually asked multiple times, both while sober and intoxicated, to the boys in Pittsburgh. It's like, do you think Gensel will realize, like, I'm playing with Sidney Crosby? That helps me out immensely for his deal. He got paid good and stayed on that. Now he's going to go spread his wings without Sid. That's another way to view this as well, is that the world is going to get to recognize Gensel a little bit more probably here.
Yeah, no doubt. Jake Gensel, hey, here's one of the things, man. I know from playing with those world-class players, different being a goalie, you're kind of on an island like you as a kicker, like QBs. But at the same time, you're seeing each other in practice. You're competing. You're seeing how they roll. You can't play with Sid and on Sid's line unless you can keep up. You got to be able to think it. You have to process it. You have to be able to execute. Your timing, your spacing, all that stuff is elite. And Jake Gensel has that. So, yeah, he'll be able to spread his wings a little bit that way. Conflicting emotions because Sid's his guy, vice versa. But I got to tell you what, the bigger question now is, where does this leave the Pittsburgh Penguins? What do they look like going forward?
Trash.
That's what I'm curious about. What do the Pittsburgh Penguins do going forward? They were really bullish. They wanted Kyle Dubas as their general manager. They pay him a lot of bread to run the whole hockey or whole hockey ops, really, because he's the president of hockey ops. So I'm curious to see what his vision is. and where the Pittsburgh Penguins go. But this is Kyle Dubas' time to shine. Let's see what he does.
Well, I'll tell you what, Weeksy, we're all wondering where the hell he's headed, and what we're going to do, because it's been a glorious time to be a Pens fan for the better portion of the last 3-4 decades. So, let's get back to it. We're running up on a hard out, and I know you've been recording stuff and busy. Is there any trades that are expected or taking place that we haven't mentioned that are, league rattling at all, Weeksy?
There were some that have kind of fallen. Listen, as the president of the goalie union, I'll tell you what's disappointing to me is everybody, like in football, well, you don't have a quarterback, no chance. All right, everybody says that in hockey too. No goalie, no chance. And for whatever reason, the goalie market is really frozen. But the New Jersey Devils just traded for Jake Allen, who everybody thought they were going to get Jacob Markstrom from Calgary. So that's really the first move. The first domino is Jake Allen from Montreal is going to the New Jersey Devils. But I'm curious to see if within the hour and change here on the East Coast, if we're able to see any more goalie moves.
Who would be a goalie that move? Mark?
At this point, I think Nedeljkovic from your Pens.
Ned.
Yeah, blow it up.
Flanders.
Blow it up.
Ned from the Pens.
Maybe Jari
he goes
too,
up to
Weeksy.
Edmonton.
Maybe Tristan Jari too. Maybe both of them.
Hey, listen, I like Jars a lot too. But I don't know if they'll be able to move Jars' money right now in time. That might have to be a draft day deal, like an off-season deal. But Nedeljkovic at 1.5, prorated for the next 6 weeks, that's something teams can fit into their cap. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the move.
Mark.
But that's what I'm saying. That raises the bigger questions of what happens with your Pittsburgh Penguins.
Thanks. All right, we'll follow along. Ladies and gentlemen, insider pundit, stud, Kevin Weeksy. We appreciate
it. Man.
So
moment of silence, or what do we do here?
Is the era done, or
you want to?
Sid's still there, Gino's still there, Letang's still there.
You're right.
That I saw a lot of people saying that might be the problem.
Nobody said that.
Not about Sid, but
who?
What's your problem, man? We're already down low enough right now.
I'm just reading the tea. Hey, look, this jersey's been hanging for a goddamn year. Okay.
If the Stanley Cup started right now, this is from who? Who's this from?
NHL.
The Flyers are in.
What? Over the Penguins?
Well,
I think they're pretty far.
Got a new team of PA, huh?
Got the Carolina Hurricanes, who just got 2 of our best players. They're in. LA. Hey, LA's in. Like that.
Hockeywood's back, baby. Fired their coach. They're buzzing again.
Hockeywood. Okay, I like that a lot. Vegas Golden Knights still in this thing. I know you had a question for Weeksy about the Vegas Golden Knights. We're coming up on hard out, and he's back on TV. It's trade deadline.
You got your guy already, though.
Yeah.
Nah, we need more.
Is that the Dallas Stars with a 1 next to him?
That's Texas hockey, baby. We are ready to go this year.
They got a 1 next to there?
They're rolling.
Yeah.
How long? Why is that? How'd that happen?
Where's
Keep getting better.
Yeah, it's
getting better.
It's that 3 team on that side of the bracket that might hurt them.
Yeah.
Cougars are a problem, too. They got a good squad.
All right, this has been a Feel Good Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll be following along with all the sports that are happening, and we'll have an Overreaction Monday that is ready for the world to see. From AJ Hawk, myself, all the boys, and all of our guests, thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you on Monday. Goodbye. Nailed it. Right on the heart.
Well done.
Last hour, I don't know if you saw, I went a minute early.
I didn't know at the time, but then you came back saying, so that was a full minute early? What'd they do?
But I hit it. Nobody will talk
You
about
nailed
it.
it.
Yeah, people won't bring that up.
Good dry run.
So what happened for the next minute?
Well, we ran the OCW video with no sound for 15 seconds, and then we came back. Because Boston Connor was like, wrong minute? Yeah, that's wrong.
Well, and selfishly, I wanted to bring up the Lincoln Riley last night.
Yeah,
to be completely honest with you.
Yeah,
I tried to do it before.
What? I still don't know what happened. Joe Biden said to Lincoln Riley's name during the State of the Union. Said he died.
Yeah,
Lakin's the name, I believe. He said Lincoln, and then obviously the internet.
They did their deed.
It's a massive thing too. People had pins on with Lakin Riley on it, like not a very.
Yeah, it's a very big thing.
Yeah, like in.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I mean, the politics world is obviously always on fire. Anytime somebody's just out for a jog.
Yeah, place is awesome.
Just out for a jog.
It really is. It really is. Like this is the season.
What, politics?
Yeah, it's electric.
It is not though.
But the memes,
I've checked out completely.
Completely checked out until
Like,
it shows
it
up
doesn't
and
even
Lincoln
happen.
Riley's dead.
Yeah.
That was the.
Yeah.
I read that and it was like the first thing I saw. Lincoln Riley's dead. I just met the guy. Literally, seemed like a good guy. And then I scrolled down. I was like, internet.
Yeah.
Internet.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That is exactly
really all you can say.
That is exactly what happened.
I think because of the WWE is because I like it now.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I just view it. It's such
but
a sham.
One is a lot bigger than the other.
Well, yeah, of course, but like the whole thing is just such a sham.
Yeah,
and the WWE is bigger than the other, but still, I can appreciate the other.
The WWE is if you grow up watching wrestling, you view life a lot differently.
Yeah, which I wish I did.
You just kind of go, like, you can tell when athletes watch wrestling growing up. Like, you can tell which athletes, like when Tyrese Halliburton was here, it was very obvious. And the way he plays, it was very obvious. You know, and you just, when you start viewing life like wrestling, like, oh, that's just a heel. Like, that person that's a heel right
Bingo.
there. That's a baby face right there. But I think whenever it comes to government, it's a little
it's
one's
tough to
doing it
just
for entertainment.
treat it like WWE.
Yeah.
You got the leader of the free world, you know.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Right.
And I don't know enough about it, but anytime it shows up in my thing, I always go like, is this guy babyface or heel? I don't. Is he?
Right.
What? I don't know what's going. I don't know what this is. Who is it?
I mean, it's been a sham for a decade. I think that's why I'm at.
Yeah, see, that's a whole nother conversation because I assume people back in like the way back, whenever 50s, were like, what's going on?
Been saying that since John Adams was the president. Exactly.
And the stuff
People
going on
like
in
to
the
be
50s.
mad. People love to be outraged.
But not us.
Yeah,
No.
true.
We're pumped. Lincoln Riley's alive.
Exactly.
Yeah, huge. But also
Bummed
last
about
night,
Lincoln.
did you see? Speaking of Halbert, Anthony Edwards.
Oh man,
single-handedly killed the Pacers.
Yeah, I heard he had a big night last night. I only read the tweet. I didn't want to keep up with it because it sounded so damn negative, and we were celebrating Indiana last night pretty much. But yeah, I heard Anthony Edwards had quite a night here in Indiana.
Yeah, this last 2 minutes is absurd.
What do you mean by that?
He goes 3, and then I believe he comes back down right here, foul line, jumper.
Oh, that's like a Jordan highlight.
So these are normal, but then
it's the ending. Yeah,
Well, 46 seconds left in the fourth quarter could be 55 minutes.
Might well be.
I think it was
in the NBA. 27 seconds, 108.
Gets him again.
He's up 2. Oh, he
Runner.
plays intermediate?
Oh, he does everything.
Oh, because I thought only people shot threes these days.
Now he's like the guy everyone, if they had to restart a franchise with, they'd start
Oh,
with
he
him.
missed a free throw.
Yep.
Oh, no.
But here
we go.
Hits his head on the rim.
What?
And then on the court.
Game over.
The alternate angle where it shows
That was him?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Where'd that guy come from?
What was it? Was there the Pacers mascot, Boomer? He does that trampoline dunk.
Yep.
Did he leave the trampoline? He left it underneath the hoop?
He may have. It looked like
Is
it.
that what happened there?
He said this is the highest he's ever jumped.
Jesus.
That's not a trampoline.
There's an angle from the crowd that just looks
Right there.
insane. Yeah, that
He
one.
hit his shoulder off the backboard.
And then smacked his head on the hardwood very, very hard.
And then he got up and celebrated.
Yeah.
Mitt's in this video. You won't be able to see him, but I know he's in this. He pointed himself out.
Oh, nice.
Mitt, we need to know where you were.
Yeah.
We need to know where you were.
How'd it go, Mitt? How'd you
It's
react?
really blurry, but it's going to be... It's in
Oh,
there.
man, I was eye to eye with him, and I was in the second level.
That's why I bet the Pacers
Is
fought.
that him with the in the gray hoodie there?
He jumped so high.
With the yarmulke on?
No, he's not in this frame.
Oh, okay.
Oh, down
Where
here?
is Mitt? Bring him out. Is he back in the cave?
I think is that him right there?
That guy hits his shoulder.
Yeah, dude, it was insane.
What I'm noticing here is there's 500 Mets right up there. Welcome to Indiana.
Okay, so...
Is that Bailey right there on the left side?
I can see him right now. It's hard to point out, though.
Where?
Okay.
Can we get
Well,
like a
that
mouse? Can you put the mouse?
Is he
No,
listening to the
it's not a
show right now?
mouse.
Or?
Okay, can you guess how many rows back from the front one were?
Okay, you see the blue signage?
Yep.
Yes.
Go down and you see the beard.
Oh, yeah, he's right there.
There he is.
Right on
Yeah,
the
we do see him.
There he is.
Right on the aisle.
Man, I missed it.
fuck,
the
dude?
guys in front of me stood so high, I only saw the top of Anthony's head.
Fucking hate this guy.
That was absolute
fucking
bullshit,
way.
actually.
You didn't see it?
No, I did see it, and I lost so much fucking money on that. Anthony Edwards is so good. I live bet the Pacers like 3 times.
Because you were giving him a lot of juice in the arena? You were giving him a lot of juice, man?
I mean, the guys in front of me, they were giving him a lot of juice. They were throwing my bets, so then I started throwing my bets, and
Yep. Were you high-fiving each other?
yeah.
No, because Anthony Edwards said, you're not going, none of you
until
losers.
then. Up until then.
Yeah.
He's like the best. He's the best player in the league, aside from Jokic. But he's 23 years old. Like he is.
He was in that movie too, right?
Yeah, he's Kermit Willis.
Great in the movie. He shot lefty in the NBA All-Stars Skills Challenge.
He also, I'm not sure if you saw, showed up late to a game. He
did.
He was late to
checking in.
Yes, to the T-Wolves.
So how'd that happen? He showed up late to the building, or he got caught up going to the bathroom?
Said he ran out of time. He said he
lost track of time.
Lost track.
Apparently, he has like a very extensive pregame routine, and he just lost track of time.
Yeah, he missed a check. He was taking a knee to check in
Yeah.
while the ball was being tipped off.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before in my life, other than like a ceremonial. This person gets a start, and then gets something. And then I think they actually asked him, "Does he want to go in?" And he said, "No," and he just took a knee down.
Yeah, so it was the first time he hasn't been in the starting lineup in a long time. Long time.
Character.
Yeah.
Probably his whole life.
Full on character.
He's the best. Send the video. I mean, this is the guy we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he has come out now and said, hey, sorry about it.
Yeah, he is.
Sorry, that was a little emotional in that entire thing. But he is the guy.
Yeah, he will. He's one of those guys that will be a billionaire when he's done because he's so young and he's already gotten a supermax. Like
He just hit his back off the backboard.
Insane.
I mean,
That's
he turned
so high.
like his
Wow, how
biggest
high
fan.
that is.
The way
See,
he
Nike
plays
guy-
the two-man game with Luka Garza, too, whenever that happens.
When they bring Luka back, it's going to
Yeah.
change the game.
Yep.
Pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be able to jump. He's gonna be able to jump right onto the Bison over there at the new stadium in Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the problem.
They need to double it.
It is the problem.
Yeah, did the Bison people, artists people,
No, they didn't.
have they thought that at the Combine people are running faster than they've ever run before?
Nope.
That's just the high-end professional athletes. There's a trickle-down effect, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
There's some
Oh, yeah.
drunk whites out there that can jump higher than they've ever been able to jump before just because of the
Yeah.
evolution of humans that we have witnessed in the Combine. So it's just something to think about whenever you're deciding on how high a bison is going to be, whenever your fan base is known for climbing on top of things. I guess what they're known for.
Yeah.
Is that a Discovery Zone? No, that's a Buffalo Bills tailgate. They climb over everything. That is literally what they do. And then they do shooting star presses off the top of them through tables. So for the safety, I guess, is what you guys have been saying this entire time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's our
Need
angle.
that bison to be bigger.
Well, you mentioned it. I mean, trampolines, like who with bigger parking spaces now, who's to say everyone who has a pickup truck isn't putting like a tumbling trampoline in the back of their, truck and then bringing it with them, taking a 100-foot head start and then just blasting into that thing, getting on top of the Buffalo.
Think about these trampolines, too, in the Buffalo weather. They pour some water on that when it's real cold. It'll be like that glass.
Yep.
And then when you jump on it, when it breaks.
So cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Isn't it? Hey, AJ, so cool.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, they're screwed. People are going to be jumping on top of those bison. The second they go up, get good luck. You can put a rope around it. You can put a wall around it. They'll get in.
Hey, AJ, real quick. Centerville trampoline wrestling community or no?
A trampoline wrestling community. Oh, you mean like in your backyard, like superhuman type guy?
What?
Super Hummin.
Super Hummin is obviously
him?
death match trampoline wrestling.
Right.
Yeah.
Most trampoline wrestling matches were extreme rules, more so than death match.
Yeah, no holds barred.
Yeah, no holds barred. Normally one person would have a trampoline in a neighborhood. And then obviously we had a wrestling promotion on it. I was champion. I did lose. Well, I got beat with a hockey goalpost one time.
By who? Not War Pig.
It was Kenny who did it, I think.
That's creative weaponry.
Yeah.
Even for backyard trampolining, just a hockey goalpost.
So he
is
came out of the
creative.
shed. Came out of the shed, which was obviously Gorilla. Came out of the shed. I was wrestling his little brother, Rhino. I hit him with like maybe the 10th power bomb of the match.
Small kid.
And I was about to get him and
Just
came flying out there and
Rey Mysterio.
right in the ribs. I remember the feeling right now.
You don't forget something like that.
That was shoot, brother.
Yeah, I lost. Rhino got me. 1, 2.
I didn't have that. We didn't have that in Centerville.
Really?
There was,
I've
whoever
learned
had
a lot.
trampoline, we would go, but we didn't like have any sanctioned matches or promotions like that. We might.
You guys weren't hustlers enough. I think you guys had one too over.
Oh, yeah, I got taken out with a Singapore cane. It was actually just a tiki torch that was stepped on a few times, but put me down and out.
He was in Regency. I was in Holiday Park. I assume there was other parts of Plum that had these same exact.
Yeah, I know some guys running with some halogen light bulbs and barbed wire.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Doors used to go through a lot. Trying to gimmick doors was fun. trying to figure out
how
we're too small to get through the actual door that's being laid down as a table here. How do we gimmick this thing so that it'll go through, and then inevitably, taking a door out of like a trash heap, walking it back, and then ruining it from and then busting it before we can even use it, having to go find another one. Yeah, those are good old days, buddy.
Did your promotions ever cross? So, did you ever go to Nick's promotion?
Yeah, so there was an older promotion that I think did bounce around a little bit.
Yeah, they like to pick young talent up and beat the hell out of them.
Yeah, they had a cage. They had a cage match one time in somebody's dog kennel. That was awesome.
Love that.
I'll never forget that. Yeah, those were good old days.
Yeah, they got barred from Home Depot and Lowe's, so they weren't allowed to buy folding tables anymore.
We used video of that whenever I did my WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Adam Cole match. Yeah, dude. So whenever we talked about that trampoline being brought up for the Bison, if it's cold and they put a little water on that, the optics
look out.
of the ice shattering while you jump up on top, that could be 8K too with the cameras they got now.
Yeah.
The angles you could kind of go to, let alone if you do a shooting star, if you up on top of that. And we're not promoting anybody to do this.
No, shouldn't.
We're just saying, we're hypothesizing about situations that could happen that we don't want to happen. Imagine this with an 8K camera on like a gimbal. Ricochet.
Yep.
Going up, jumping on top of that thing, swinging around while still moving, and then shooting star off the front of that thing through table on fire.
Yeah, of course.
Bingo.
Oh my, that's like, that's a Sunday.
With a drone shot going on at the same time.
That's week one.
Yeah.
That's week one.
That's preseason week one.
Yeah.
Preseason week one.
You're right. That's first game at the stadium, probably.
They just got to set the tone like, hey, guys, you haven't seen anything yet. Just wait till the regular season, let alone playoffs, if we get to host the playoffs.
Which is why we're saying we need this Bison 40, 50 feet.
massive.
Unscalable.
Yeah.
Alec Honnold
Has to be.
is
Got
the
to lube it
only
up,
human.
too. Got to lube it up every game.
No, I thought about this last
Spray
night.
it down with some wax.
It needs to be electrically charged.
Oh, yeah. That'd
That's
be fun
smart.
to watch people get halfway up and like, hey, don't worry, guys, the electricity's out. We knocked it out, and then they turn on.
Like the fences in Jurassic Park.
Okay,
Boom.
I appreciate that. I respect that. Maybe a little bit easier, bug zapper
Yeah.
wrapped around it.
Yep.
So then even, because humidity, I assume up there with the lake effect, imagine those bison like
Oh, yeah.
Be cool.
at night.
that'd
It'd be
be
like
so
a show.
sweet.
Be like a firework.
Yeah.
Eyes light up the whole thing.
Light up the eyes.
Light up
boys.
the eyes, boys.
Oh my gosh.
Except the snow is going to be a problem. They're just going to build snow steps up to.
Oh yeah,
the
with
buffalo.
the shovels that they give them.
If
Yeah,
I've seen
exactly.
anything with them, they don't know how to handle the snow.
Oh, swing!
Who is they? Because I'd like to reiterate the fact that they were in that stadium that night. They packed that stadium
on
out.
Monday.
Lot of Yinzers in that stadium.
They
too.
only gave $20 to like 50 people. Remember?
Yeah, but
They ran out of money.
they got a couple cans of pop, I believe, a couple granola bars as well, Gumpy. So it's like $28.50.
Well, and that one guy got a ride of a lifetime when he jumped on the thing.
did.
Shirtless
That's
and went
right.
downer.
He did.
That's right.
They were not doing sobriety tests on the way in
No.
to shovel those things.
Nope.
Which is smart. Smart move. You're not going to get a lot of workers, I don't think, in that particular atmosphere.
No.
But congratulations to the Buffalo Bills getting a new stadium. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't like the negativity around the Bison.
No.
Because Buffalo getting a new stadium is a good thing.
Yep.
And we like when cities invest in stadiums. Now, with that being said, don't love taxpayer money being involved. I don't love it. Just as a person, I don't love it.
You
It usually is, though. It usually is.
But in damn near every 90%.
All of them, really. Did
Nope.
Jerry said his is fully private?
No, Jerry has some tax money down there in Arlington.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're obviously going to have to get huge tax benefits. That's why you're where you build a stadium, where you build it.
Yeah, but I think Kraft
did it. They actually go into that.
And
in
you
the
actually get
Dynasty
some money.
they do.
About how like Kraft saw way, way, way back before he owned the team, like, hey, I need to buy the land that the stadium's on because the amount of money that will come from that will be massive. So that's like how he got a large portion of his.
And he has enough
fortune.
money to do it, which I think is what everybody says. Like, hey, there is an owner that is in your guys' world that has enough money to build his own stadium. You should do that.
And he did.
And, hopefully future owners will follow suit.
Yeah, and the best
Like
part.
Josh Harris in them,
bingo.
I assume they're going to buy and pay, right?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good way to win over your fan base quickly.
For sure.
Hey, we're coming in, building a new stadium, not taking any of your money. We want to earn your money, whenever you come to the game or whatever.
Their fan base usually doesn't mind, though, the whatever increased tax. It's usually the people that hate football that mind.
I agree. And, as a person who would certainly and probably has said, yep, take it, do that. If you want it, that's good. If you didn't do that, too, that's probably much bigger babyface move with the city.
Yeah.
You know, just as a human.
Well, like what Walton did. Like Walton, richest owner in the NFL now, instead of using his own money, he reached into that G4 or G7 fund that the
owners have.
The
that fund,
owners
right?
have for like helping your own stadium. Yeah, for updating your stadium.
I think if it updates a stadium,
Yeah.
you get a loan from the rest of the NFL. Who knows what the interest rate is? Probably very small. But where's that money coming from? Who knows? You know, everything's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to a break. These Feel Good Fridays in the offseason are the best.
Yeah.
Because you know what we got next?
What's that?
A weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends.
Yes.
What's this guy here and down there?
Yeah. Should make him give away money.
Rap?
Yeah. It's his time. He never does.
What do you think for it with?
Where is he?
What are you going to do? Are you going to putt?
Oh, I thought I was more so thinking you should putt.
Now's not the time to putt.
Yeah, I've kind of I've discounted golf for my life, really.
You have. You've been kind of
Playing.
pretty anti. You're like, I'm not spending any time golf. You've been very vocal of that.
Yeah, I'm just I don't think I'll ever play 18 holes again for the rest of my life.
Bet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you
You'll
do
be
this
forced
summer.
to it. You'll be forced to. We'll have some event where you'll have to.
I will absolutely ride in the cart and hang out. No doubt about it. I love driving the cart.
It's
half
it's
the
good
fun.
time out there.
It's the best
it's
part.
good time. I'm just saying, actually playing 18 holes, yeah, I probably won't do that again.
Zito just asked, all right, a good question. So we can give away your golf clubs then?
No, because I'll play 9.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Hour and a half? Sure.
So you don't have
I'm
a problem
not
with golf.
investing 4 fucking hours of my life to suck at a sport.
Me
I'm
too.
done.
I got to that point too. That's why the whole American century thing, I'm like,
Yeah.
am I going to give 5 days of my life in a very beautiful place? I mean, it is fucking
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
beautiful and awesome. Do I deserve a spot at that? I know there's terrible golfers. Okay, I know there's terrible
The
golfers.
Miz.
For instance,
Mm-hmm.
RG3 was the worst player to ever play in the entire thing. Almost
Don
got the highest.
Cheadle.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Who's the meteorologist lady from NBC?
Oh, I don't remember her name, but yeah, she was her and the Miz.
Captain? No.
Her and the Miz were,
Neck and neck.
duking it out for last place. Yeah.
But they love golf.
Yeah.
These people like love golf. That is like a golf heaven thing. And I'll watch the shit out of golf.
Exactly.
I will watch the shit. I like watching golf. I enjoy the sport. But for how long it is and how much you could do something else.
Boom.
And for how bad I have remained while doing it, to your point, it's like I'm wasting my time right now.
Yeah.
I'm wasting my time. It's
like-
almost beating me down, this golf game. It's beating me down so much where it's like, it's not even worth the time. Like I'm getting worse somehow. But then, in Hawaii, I play a round of golf.
Yep.
I get some rented clubs that are very good.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And I hit a couple shots and I'm
There you
like,
go.
Yep.
oh, it's a new season.
That's all it takes.
You're probably out there by yourself, too, pretty spaced out.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get that in Indiana. That's the biggest issue I have here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hey, if we go to Hawaii, yeah, I'll play 18 holes of golf.
Okay, that's what we were trying to say, though. Is like
Right.
you were lying. Yeah.
No.
That's what we were saying.
I am not. You will not catch. I mean, I'm trying to think of when I'll be in Hawaii. I honestly don't think that's anytime soon. You will not see me in Indiana playing 18 holes of golf. It just won't happen.
It's unfair.
Why? It's
Great golf here.
Why? It's something that's going to make me a much happier person. Is setting
Oh, you're like Chip
myself
Kelly
up.
right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Uh-huh.
hey, I get it. It's a cool game, and you could get better. I played darts for a month, and I've gotten better at darts in that 1 month than I have in the last 15 years of playing golf.
Got it. How cool does it feel to be a really good dart?
It is so fun. Like, hey, I'm aiming for the bullseye. I hit a bullseye. Holy fuck, I am playing darts. Hey, it's a par 3. I'm aiming for the hole. This is the 1,000th par 3 I've played. Oh, it's in the water. This is fun.
Everybody's watching.
Yeah. Oh, good shot. Yeah, you're getting shit on, too, while you're doing it.
This man does not feel that way at all.
Oh, my goodness.
This
he
man.
is such a character.
Remember Anthony,
Look at Charles Barkley in the back.
Oh, so mad.
Anthony Anderson at the par
There
3?
was, there was some talk from guys about his pace of play after this round from a few guys.
Why is everyone talking about that?
Who told you is what he said to me.
I was like, everybody did.
They said, I said, hey, I heard you're acting like an asshole out there.
Look at him hold. Look at him hold.
Can't walk by him. Yeah, it was good. No, it wasn't. The way He's not getting interviewed. He wants to be, though.
Yeah, he definitely does.
He had a birdie one day, and the whole course could hear it. Remember that?
He's the best.
Got to get that 6-iron figured out.
The Miz. He was on the driving range.
We saw him after hours. The place was closed.
He doesn't have the feeling that we do.
No, he doesn't.
Because
No.
I don't know if he's gotten worse or if he's remained the same terrible golfer that he is.
Gotten worse.
What do you think?
I think he started so bad. Like
had to have.
But he's like an anomaly. I told you when I saw you post clips of him a couple years ago, I assumed he was like a scratch golfer because his swing looks very good.
His
It looks like
outfit-
a nice swing.
his outfit-
And then you guys,
I'll never
I thought you
forget
guys
that.
were messing with me when you all said like, no. Furthest thing from a scratch
Dude, he was
golfer.
talking shit too every single time.
Oh, dude.
Every single shot, he was talking shit to me. Like, I'm not good.
I
That might have
respect the
been-
confidence.
I think it was the
respect
first time I played golf in 2 years with him that morning that we played, and he lives on a golf course now at this point. He was like, he showed up 45 minutes early, was on the driving range.
Yep.
And he was like, we're competing today. I'm
Full
like-
Adidas jumpsuit. I'm like, oh, this guy plays.
and he
Like,
said he
he's
wanted
ready.
to compete. And it
Yep.
was like, all right, here we go. And then every shot's terrible. I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like
But he takes his time with every shot. We know that.
I'm FaceTiming him. We'll see if he answers.
Well, he's in the fairway at Tahoe. Obviously, if you go over 6, you just pick the ball up. He's on his 5th stroke, and he's in the fairway, and he's still lining it up.
Not
That's
even
just-
lining it up. He's saying, all right, with the way that green goes, I got to kind
He has
of
to make it.
I got to kind of fade this one in because if it hits that front hill, it'll roll feet down.
And then-
his
He legit does that.
And his caddy's like, yeah,
You're right.
I'm thinking we're aiming a little bit. Like, shut up, dude. He's not going to do that. We know he's not going to do that. And he's got to pick up if this ball doesn't go in the hole.
Yeah.
No answer from him. And he did that for 18 holes.
The absolute
Oh,
best
yeah.
kind of person to be friends with, but the worst to play with.
I could, yes,
Bang.
exactly.
Yeah. He's the epitome of that. right
Watching
there.
him do that with another group was hysterical.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he flexed at me
down the fairway.
from 2 fairways away? He was the last person on the tee box, obviously. Okay. Everybody was eager to get to their ball, like walk to their ball. And he's doing his full setup, wiggle, whole thing.
Weird arm thing, the arm behind his back thing he does.
Yeah, this one, the wiggle.
Yeah.
I'm watching it because we're standing waiting to tee off. He hits it, boom, holds the pose. Okay, nobody moves. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? They wait, puts the OB. So he has to hit another one.
Sure.
So then he has to do the whole thing again. Okay, and he takes a line up. It's like he's hitting 3 right now.
Yep.
From the tee box. There's no chance in hell he's finishing this hole.
No, he's doubling.
Yeah, and that's in this particular round
Yep.
worth negative point. It's the worst you can do. Lines up, OB again. Walks down, does the drop. While walking down, everybody's pissed at him. Stops in the middle of the fairway and flexes at me. And then just keeps going. And I'm like, what is this guy's problem?
Yep.
He was talking shit one time, hitting out of the fairway you were teeing off on. Miz, you're in my fairway.
Miss, you're in the wrong fairway, Miss. You're 2-3 fairways off right now. Yeah, but I'm further than you are. It's like, no, you're not. Away from the hole, maybe.
Walking
Walking
through
in for
Larry.
that guy's line. Yep.
Larry, the
Oh my
cable
God.
guy.
This was a par, I think.
No,
No, it's a
that was a
bogey.
bogey, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a bogey right there. Yeah, they don't know. People don't know.
Oh. Jeez, you gotta kill somebody.
Oh.
That's a weird scene over there, I will say. I never really know what to do.
Whoa.
What is the right answer for over there?
That you do that.
I don't
Whatever
know.
you want.
Yeah,
Stay away
feels
from it
right.
because then you're going to get 40 beers shoved in your face. And
It was always the fireball.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not a fireball.
Don't want to be getting
Don't get
fireballs.
firebombed.
Well, you got firebombed, didn't you?
I got firebombed.
So he does
Yeah,
that
you
after a
bitched
bogey?
about it.
Larry the cable guy. Let's see what he does.
Now Larry's got to sit here and try to make a putt after all that.
Oh, he does.
With a claw
He does.
and an underhand hook.
Now, Larry loves he loves it.
Good pay,
Bucket.
Get her
Look at Miz.
done.
Don't be stealing my spotlight.
Get her done. Miz like, yeah, it was good, man. Yeah, how about it? Do it.
Get over there, Larry.
Yeah.
Larry looks good. Has he lost weight?
Yeah.
I honestly think he looks the exact same as he's always looked. So
Give me one of them beers.
Hey, you got what do you got? Oh no, I don't want that. Yeah, I ain't drinking. I'll throw it.
Wasn't a bush light.
It is because that's what hole 17 there. So depending upon which hole you start on, you're pretty banged up already.
Oh, yeah.
And you're tired. Very tired because you got to walk 14 miles through the mountains of California.
Yep. High altitude.
High altitude.
That beats my ass every year, which adds into the... What, I have bruised toes. I had bruised toes. It's the first time in my life I had bruised toes. How's that even happen?
It'll do it.
Didn't even know it was possible.
Got to get them Skechers. Got to get them Romo Skechers.
Let's get to a break. Ian Rapoport will be on the other side. He golfs every day. I assume he still sucks.
Yeah. Golf season for him.
Yeah.
Golf season.
He said he has a new
Camp
haircut.
season.
Really?
Ooh, I'm excited. A buzz?
Say he has a new haircut.
Oh, I hope it's a buzz cut.
I wonder if he's not going with the wet look anymore.
I bet you can't really tell. I bet it seems very similar to the old.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe he's got tips.
He felt obligated to text me that he has a new haircut. So
Okay, sweet.
Boy.
Might have like a faux hawk or something.
I said, if you're bald right now,
That'd be sweet.
Please.
let's find out. Is Ian Rapoport bald on the other side?
Okay.
Can't wait.
What does he know that we don't? Where's Russell Wilson going?
Good question.
How about the other free agents? How about at the top of the draft? What did you hear at the combine while you're boozing up with everybody post 2 a.m.
Yep.
around Indianapolis? We'll learn that and more on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Take 5.
Hey, that ain't gonna help. Miz, that ain't gonna help. That's gonna do nothing.
He was a 3-sport athlete at Plum High School, where his volleyball team was in the mix for a Section 3 title. Making his Lake Tahoe debut for the brand, Pat McAfee. Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, baby.
AJ Hawk.
How baby, AJ?
Yes! Yeah, baby.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Good shot.
AJ,
you got one of these?
Got about 12 of these.
That's not real.
Good line here. Good line here. Buy some drinks.
Great putt.
Yeah. Oh, he walked it off. Sorry about it.
Hey, let's go.
Get in. Get in. Come on. Here we go. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Our American Century Championship coverage rolls on here from the back deck of Edgewood Tahoe. How about Pat McAfee stopping by, man?
Listen, I'm just curious. I noticed that in every single one of those pictures you took, you're wearing the same suit. So I'm just curious. Were you only at the combine one day? Did you only work one day? I mean, you talk about how you're the hardest working guy ever. You're there one day? Like, what's going on there?
Well, I don't know, Ty. I mean, are we in Milan at the fucking fashion show? I'm there for work, asswipe, okay? So, yeah, I mean, if you want to go and play grab ass with people, oh, hey, look at my Versace suit, look at my, listen, all right, very simple. Yes, I wore the same suit and shirt combo and tie combo every single day. You ever heard of Steve Jobs, okay? Turtleneck every single day. Take one decision out of your day. It's a very beautiful, nice suit. $79.99 off the rack at Macy's, okay? Very, very dependable. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not there trying to, get all the girls to look at me and say, oh, geez, Mad Mel, this guy's fucking sexy. I'm there to let these NFL GMs and pro personnel, staff know, hey, this is what you got to do to win a Super Bowl. I mean, the fact that you'd even ask that question tells me how big of a dipshit you are and how much, just how clueless you are. So I won't be taking any fucking questions from you for a long time, my friend.
Jeez.
You know what? As a matter of fact, fuck this. I'm done. Okay, I've given you guys enough. This is bullshit.
Whoa.
Fuck you guys.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
What did I say?
What the?
Ty, way to go.
Come on.
Is Mad Mel still there?
I don't got to do this. They act like I don't got anything to do. I mean, I got hours and hours of film I could be looking at. These fucking assholes are treating me, like it's a stand-up comedy special. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm fucking sick of it. Okay? I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. Fuck them.
Whoa. Gee, sorry.
Die.
He's still...
Look how you made Mad Mel feel.
It's an honest question.
I thought it was a good conversation.
You did attack him a little bit. You attacked him a little bit. I think he overreacted, but that's classic Mad Mel. I think we can, besides the way that thing abruptly ended. What was that all about?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, professionalism maybe, just a tad bit.
It's all right. Draft season's Mad Mel season.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show sticks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this magical Feel Good Friday, March 8th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Sports are happening all around us. The man right next to me right there is AJ Hawk. What a legend.
Baby AJ.
AJ, great work this week. Do you have any breaking news about anybody that maybe you're very close friends with that is quarterback for the New York Jets?
I do not. I think also some of the we showed almost a transcript of some of the podcast he was on the other day with Eddie Bravo, and I believe that's behind a paywall. Did you find it? I could not find it.
I have not listened to it either. I will say I was a little busy last evening. I did not get a chance to seek it out. One half of the Hammer, bad Cowboys Town Diggs is on it.
Behind a paywall.
Okay, not a bad play.
Where?
Who's going to go there, steal that, and put it on the internet?
Somebody. And I'm going to appreciate whoever does that.
No, you're going to go. You're going to support. No,
not me. No.
Well, the Talks the Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. What's your breaking news, though, AJ? Didn't he tell us he was going to have something?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
It was.
No, I don't think. I think I said this coming probably Monday. I might have something. Yeah.
Oh, I got
Okay.
Wow, that's a big tease.
All right, here we go.
Put it on the ticker, ladies and gentlemen. On Monday, AJ Hawk has some breaking news. Go ahead, Conrad.
Yeah, Gumpy shared it with me. Breaking, it seems as though the Ohio State women's basketball team is going to lose in the first round.
No shit.
Oh, no.
Big Ten tournament.
Let's get some. Let's rest our legs.
They're down
Gumpy.
20 with 3 minutes left. It is over
Against
for
who?
Ohio State.
Wow.
Maryland.
And they also lost to Iowa, right, after they claimed the Big Ten women's championship during the regular season. And
Rest
now
up for what matters.
Now they're down 20 against who again?
Maryland. Maryland is 18-12. Ohio State is 25-4.
I saw Iowa play Maryland, I believe. That was during one of the games that Caitlin played. And Maryland does have a team that's scrappy. Yeah, they will certainly get after it.
High elbows.
Ohio State's gotten cold at the wrong time.
That's not
Did they
good.
throw the game? Rested legs. AJ started the
They
program.
know big picture. They're thinking big picture.
I think it went out in a newsletter.
Yeah,
Hey,
but you want
girls are
you win going into the tournament. You still get a couple weeks off, and then you're still playing your best basketball. So you'd definitely rather win the Big Ten tournament than lose in the first round. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, joining us now is a man who has no information on that, but hopefully all the information on the NFL. Senior NFL insider at NFL Network, friend of the program, the host of the weekly wrap-up with the Rap Sheet and Friends, us being the friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rapoport.
Yeah, baby, Rap Sheet!
What's up?
New haircut. New haircut.
Yeah, I had to squeeze. I was squeezing it in today while doing a little Russell Wilson airport reporting. So it was a little hectic, but I got it done.
Can you put him on this screen here? Can you put him on this screen here?
Haircut sucks.
Just so I know. What
What's different?
Is that
this
right?
part, or is it that this part's here, or maybe?
No, what happens is up here gets a little unruly, so they got to do the thing where they kind of like trim it a little bit. That's the best part.
Thin it. I believe they thin it.
Little shears, the little shears.
So did he just get a haircut or a new haircut?
Yeah. Why did you text me and say I got a new haircut? Because you look the exact same.
It's completely different.
It's not.
It's completely.
You get a side by
it's like
side.
Not even remotely.
It's the same
as the last
haircut you
one.
always have, Rap.
Yeah, you look the exact same, Raps. You actually look
different.
You look, I guess.
What?
Yeah, you look more like you than you've ever looked in the
Well
past.
said.
This has got to be a bit.
You should do all
Same
interviews
old
like
Mark.
this. You should.
No, I'm
you should
serious.
Talk to all
This is
interviews like
completely
that.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
So, Rapoport, welcome to my office. First things first, you're doing airport reporting on Russell Wilson. He was in Newark.
Right.
Now he's flying to Pittsburgh.
Right.
Does he have friends and family in Pittsburgh? Or is this Pittsburgh Steelers thing real with Russell Wilson? We were talking to Michael Lombardi earlier today, and he said that's a perfect situation. I see you breathing. I see you grimacing. I see you doing it all. Do you see it the same way, Ian Rapoport?
I kind of do.
Oh! Hey!
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look what
Don't leave him
what
hanging.
they're looking.
Don't leave him
for.
hanging. Ian.
Oh, wait, we're
Nice.
yes.
That was sweet.
That's tough, actually. Sometimes you go like this, and it's just it's.
For your face.
Yeah, you've never done this. We know that because,
No, I'm a big fist bump guy.
Oh, okay. So like
Per
this.
team.
Yeah. Like you did like a punch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I used to be a big bro hug guy, and then COVID happened, and then that was not cool anymore, and I've since kind of got out of the bro hug game, but big fist bumper.
So now you're Howie Mandel doing this. Doing this one.
Wow, I wouldn't. Is that? No, it's more like not like this. I'm not a weirdo. Like
You never done that?
Calling Howie a weirdo?
Okay, all right. Hey, listen.
I mean,
Whatever you want to do, a new haircut, guy. Anyways, Russell
Very
Wilson in Newark, New Jersey, then flies to Pittsburgh. Meeting with Giants is what everybody's saying. Meeting with Steelers, what everybody's saying. His team is saying he could go to Las Vegas. What are you hearing? What's real? What isn't right now?
Yeah, I would say Steelers seems real. The Giants was interesting. I don't hate it, but I think he would probably like the opportunity to start, and I don't know that he would get the opportunity to start there. I mean, when you're paying one starter $40 million and the other $1.2 million, then sometimes you know who the starter is going to be. I think Pittsburgh, they'd like some competition for Kenny Pickett. The hope is that Kenny Pickett beats him out and that he's your franchise guy and that he kind of goes like this, which at a time he thought he was going to do. And then that's just that, and Russ is just a really good backup. If Russ wins the starting job in Pittsburgh, okay, then he probably has earned it, and that's okay too. The Raiders one is interesting because, I think a lot of people think they're going to get a younger quarterback. So, is he the bridge guy if they do get a younger quarterback? And then what do they do with Aiden O'Connell, who played well at times last year? So, more questions for the Raiders, but Steelers make sense, and the salary, which I know you guys know is amazing, because it's just going to be $1.2 million no matter what.
Oh, really?
So basically, a starting
We didn't know
quarterback
that.
free.
Damn. Yeah, we knew that, Ian. What do you think this
Of course
is?
you do that.
Yeah, what do you
But
think?
not all your people knew that.
Now, hold on, though. Is there a chance that he will drum up enough interest because of what the salary could potentially be for this upcoming year, where people go up to $5 million, $10 million to take it off the Denver Broncos books? Or are you assuming maybe that's Russell Wilson texting you right there? Or are we all just under the same assumption that it's going to be vet men no matter where he signs, and the only people that are potentially competing for him to join there are just saying they got better food, better opportunity, and things like that?
Yeah, it's almost certainly going to be 1.2. And if you think about it,
For a one-year deal, 1.2, that's how it's going to go?
probably, unless a team decides to lock him up for additional years. But if you're Russell Wilson, why would you do that? Because God forbid you go out. Let's say you start, then so let's say you start in Pittsburgh and make the playoffs. Well, then you're due for a much bigger payday next year. So 1 year deal makes sense for him. And like, I think it ended okay with the Broncos and Russell Wilson. They let him, negotiate with teams early. He's going to visit teams. They've kind of okayed all of that. That's good.
Come on.
But if there was any sort of not great blood there, you probably would want to stick him with the full payday. So he takes $1.2 million from his new team, and the Broncos pay $39 million minus $1.2 million.
Okay, do the math there. 37.8.
Boom.
Yep, 37.8.
Okay, so the Broncos are paying $37.8 million to Russell Wilson.
For him to play for somebody else.
Okay, and they said, we'll pay $85 million over the next 2 years not to play this guy. It's a wild scene there at the end. But yeah, I don't think it's bad blood. No, I don't think you're right. I don't think it was.
It seems like it ended totally fine.
Absolutely. Okay, so Russell Wilson to the Pittsburgh Steelers sounds good. Heard Mitch Morse was visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. Are they going to be spending a lot of money here in free agency? Are they going to be making a lot of moves in free agency?
I like these kinds of moves, because Mitch Morse was released. So if you're someone who is, say, nervous about compensatory picks, signing these guys who are cut by someone else doesn't count against that. Mitch Morse is a very solid starter. Like Bills only cut him for cap reasons. I think they would have liked to keep him. So that actually would be a nice signing for the Steelers. Just like I would say the Patriots signed for right tackle depth, maybe a swing tackle, maybe a starter, Chuks Okorafor, which I nailed that name. Thank you very much.
Way to go, Rap. Woo!
Yep. He was cut, doesn't count against the comp pick formula, and potential starter. Like, these are smart signings before free agency.
Hell yeah. Free agency tampering period starts on Monday. Obviously, a lot of deals are already done because people get drunk in Indianapolis, which we will talk to Rapoport about a little bit later. Go ahead, AJ.
Ian, what about Chris Jones? What's going to happen with him in Kansas City? We thought a deal may be close to being done. Are we correct in that? And also, haircut looks sweet. I barely recognize you, man.
Yeah, McCockner.
You know what? I appreciate AJ. You've always been, obviously my favorite of all you guys. I think that's been clear. I really appreciate it.
Shut up, Rap.
I think that's been obvious. But anyway. What else? Oh, Chris Jones, yes.
What, you just lose your train of thought because AJ complimented you?
Smooching too much butt over there,
What the hell's going on? Jeez. You can't.
Anyway, I would say Chris Jones is.
Come on for air.
The deal is not done. I do not get the sense the deal is done. But it's a lot more positive now than it's been maybe in his previous negotiations. Like, I get the sense the communication between Chris Jones and the Katz Bros, his agents, and the Chiefs is positive and productive. Like, will that lead to a deal before free agency? I don't know. Sometimes guys like to see what's out there, but it does seem a deal is at least possible or within reach. And this is one of those to me where, like I was watching the Mike Evans press conference earlier today. Jason Light's up there and Mike Evans, and they're talking about the good feeling and like he's finishing his career as a member of the Bucs, and that all feels good. And great players finishing their career with the team who drafted him is awesome. Like, this would be great for Chris Jones. And the Chiefs seem willing to pay for it. They really seem willing to put forth the commitment. So to me, if it gets done, it would certainly make a lot of sense.
So I think what we read earlier was Aaron Donald's at like 31. I think somebody signed at 24 last year. I think Hargrave was at 21 maybe whenever he went out to San Fran. So if he was to give a hometown discount to stay in Kansas City because, he wants to hunt and be a part of the entirety of the dynasty and everything like that, are we talking like $20 million a year here, $24 billion a year here? What do you think he's looking for when it comes to money?
I think as close to Aaron Donald as he can get. And reality is,
shit. And the Chiefs are going to pay that?
I think the Chiefs are going to pay that. And, are they going to get to 30? I don't know if they're going to get to 30. I don't know. But that's what these, like, super elite, defenders make. I mean, I know he's not a pass rusher, but he certainly affects the quarterback as much as any of them and affects everything. I mean, the clips you're showing are like a joke. Like, he's awesome. So that's what these guys make. I mean, Nick Bosa's at 34. So if you told me Chris Jones came in at 30, I'd say, like, probably pretty good. Like,
I thought if he wants to get to a market, that 35 number probably maybe even creeps in for a team that loves
I think
Chris
maybe,
Jones. So there will be a little bit of a discount. I didn't expect it to be that much because Aaron Donald, is up there in his own world whenever it comes to tackle. So I'm fascinated to see how it goes. He can come to the Colts if he wants to. Just want to let him know that. But if he does end up at the Chiefs, That'll be a beautiful story for the Kansas City Chiefs, hitting
Would be
on yet another homegrown product. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes,
Right.
Chris Jones.
Right.
You know, a lot of homegrown winning happening there in Kansas City. The last highlight we showed that you said was ridiculous was him tackling Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears. Tone's got a question for you.
Yeah, Rap, the rumors are that the Justin Fields trade market has cooled off significantly. You can tell us if that's true or not. Who is left in that market, and do you think he does get done? And is it contingent on, say, like Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta or something like that? Is it something like that situation?
I don't think the Justin Fields market is like dormant or whatever the term was. I just think it hasn't. We don't know where anyone's going. I think that's probably the issue with the quarterbacks, more so than maybe any other position. You know, there's only one of them. So where Kirk Cousins will be the first domino almost no matter what. And there are several teams that are being not held up because, like, this is what happens. Free agency hadn't started yet, but whose money is just, like, waiting, right? Because, like, if you're the Vikings, you're going to give $40 or $50 million to Kirk Cousins. Like, you'd like to know, are you going to give it to your franchise quarterback or are you going to give it to a defensive tackle, pass rusher, whatever you end up doing, right? Or if you're the Falcons, you know, Falcons would be a potential place to trade for Justin Fields, but obviously not if they get Kirk Cousins. If Cousins leaves the Vikings, they have an opening. If Russell Wilson doesn't sign with the Steelers, they have an opening. What about, you know, I don't know about the Raiders, but there's plenty of places. What if Baker Mayfield doesn't sign with the Bucs? And I know the two sides are talking, but I don't get the sense the deal is particularly close.
Ooh. Whoa.
Like, might the Bucs emerge as a spot? So that's like, it's okay that Justin Fields' market isn't like going crazy right now, because it shouldn't be, because we don't know where anybody's going.
Because there's a lot that still has to happen as teams continue to build and find out what they can hit and what they can't hit on. For Justin Fields, I don't think it's great that a $1.2 million quarterback just came into the market as well, but that's not really a Justin Fields issue. I guess that would be considered a Chicago Bears issue if they were trying to move on. Is that how we feel, though? We just feel Caleb Williams going to the Bears out of the combine. Is there anything else that you feel is like a matter of fact? Because that quarterback market seems to be insane right now with the flux and conversation and chatter about who's where.
Yeah, I would say the Bears would like to get through USC Pro Day, which is in about 2 weeks or a little less. Right? I think that's the 20th, if I remember. So they're doing it the right way. You want to, it's as big a decision as you could get. You have to check, you know, go through everything. So get through USA Pro Day. And then I think finally at that point, they'll be like, all right, like, this is our guy. We're going to stay at 1. We're good. I think that's where it's headed, but I think they want to be absolutely sure, do all the homework the right way, and kind of move on from there. Once that happens, then they'll be able to say, like, all right, well, then we can deal Justin Fields. And I think by that point, we'll know where all the other quarterbacks are going. So there'll be someone, or maybe a couple someones, who will say, like, I need a quarterback. And I'd be willing to pay, I don't know, a first rounder, a second rounder, whatever mix of picks you can come up with for someone who's going to be a starter this year. And I think if you're Fields, you know, he obviously is good enough to start for the past 3 years for the Bears. Is he going to be a great franchise starter? Is he going to be pretty good? You know, you don't know where he's going to be, but definitely worth the investment / flyer.
Yeah, and definitely worth finding out if Caleb's going to be the guy or not, especially with the Bears playing their best football late last year. And their culture almost seemingly coming together. And now, because the Carolina Panthers are crop and have been crop, we end up in a situation where we can maybe take the next generational player. Is that how you're seeing it? Because is that how you're hearing it from the combine time about these quarterbacks? Because Dan Orlovsky from a golf trip told us that he's taking.
That looks sweet, by the way.
It did. How are you at
golf? He was at Stream Song, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. How are you at golf? Are you getting better or are you staying the same or worse?
I'm probably terrible now, but next week, after next Friday, then it's time to hit the simulator.
Okay.
Time to get ready.
Yeah, a couple of us here potentially on this show, I don't know how many, we didn't do a show of hands, are potentially backing off the dream that we could ever get good at golf, and maybe we're wasting too much time. Too much time. Yeah.
It's not waste.
There's a couple of us feeling that way.
No, it's not a waste.
Well,
it'll be worth it.
You hate
when you
your
guys
kids.
get to be on the senior tour, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, you're right. But to Connor's point, you do ship your kids away for 2 months during the summer, which would be the only time you really hang out with them because they're not in school.
Yep.
So people think
that's golf time.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying maybe you,
yeah. Well, I'll be playing golf in the spring too, God willing. So.
Oh, okay.
God willing.
All right. Good luck. Hey, Rap. Good luck out there. Everybody, good luck out there. Anyways, back to that. From a golf trip, Dan Orlovsky said that Jaden Daniels is his number one out of LSU over Caleb Williams. Now the conversation.
What's so funny?
That facial reaction, yeah. That was good.
I thought he got a text message. You saw it the same way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's just say I don't think Rapp agrees with that one.
Yeah. Sure felt like that with the. I mean, the movement too.
Yeah. And the scrunch.
Yeah.
I'm sure Orlovsky is a better golfer than me, so I can't even laugh much.
Well, it's because of the haircut too, potentially why it looks.
Okay.
Because
I need to be higher. Why am I so low?
Yeah, well, because we're not even getting into it. It's your haircut. It's your haircut.
Talk to God, brother.
But that's also the same way your phone is that you look that way. So I didn't know if you saw a text or something. That was definitely to Dan Orlovsky saying that Jaden Daniels is his number one over Caleb. That's not the messaging you were getting from the Combine about Caleb. Because what I heard at the Combine, because Matt Mel and I got to walk around, is like the more people learned about Caleb, the person, and from his teammates and things like that, the more people liked Caleb as opposed to the other way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. You know, there was all this stuff about Caleb, and I think his dad being quoted in GQ and like the rumors of what his family or whatever asked for, like that probably did him no favors. He seems I only met him very briefly, seemed great. I know the teams had really positive meetings with him. Teammates really like him. You know, I don't know if sensitive is the right word, but like he takes football and very seriously, takes losses very hard. Like he cares about it a lot, which, I don't think that's a negative. You will sort of want people who care about whether they win or lose. Like it seemed to be the reviews, the meetings were really positive. Look, I don't know that it's a consensus. I don't get the sense that everyone is 100% on the same page. But I think most people I talk to believe he is the number one, and most people believe the Bears are going to take him number one. The thing with Jaden Daniels is the potential is...
That ref calling that short, by the way.
Yeah. Absurd.
Was so happy to call that down at the half-yard line. College needs to
Was
change
it down
that
or
rule.
no?
Yeah.
Well, college needs to change the rule where just because you touch the ground, you're down, even if you're not touched. Like, you should be allowed to slide into the end zone right there.
Oh, yeah, that's stupid.
But that ref could not wait to be like,
That's the one.
Don't be celebrating too much here.
Easy.
First down at the half-yard line. Excuse me. Let's move on.
You should be like, come on, they deserve the score.
Yep.
It's like
Agreed.
if Stone makes a great catch and the ball like scrapes the ground. Like, come on.
That's what we're... Well, the ground...
Yeah, hold
that's
on.
a whole
Hold on.
different ball game.
If that makes a great almost catch. Just come on.
Anyways, Jaden Daniels, go ahead. What's the... what do you think of the reviews?
I would say like I don't want to say boom or bust because I don't think there's a bust, but like the potential is real. Like the games he played well, the evaluators, which I am not one of them, but the evaluators are like in love with. And it's not all of his games because there's plenty of games where he just wasn't that, but like the star power is legit. Like I think somebody's going to get a very good quarterback, and I think someone in the top 3 is going to get a very good quarterback.
This is a classic between coaches and scouting people. Coaches say potential, get your ass fired. Ain't that right, AJ?
All day, man. It happens to everybody.
All day, every day. Oh, potential. This guy's ceiling is so high. Okay, well, whose job is it to get to the ceiling? Well, it's mine as the coach.
Right.
Allegedly, that's who it's going to be. Well, what if his ceiling, that's a few games. It isn't that high. What if that's the case? So coaches are always like, potential, get your ass fired. Front office people are always like, if I draft this guy and he turns into this
CJ
guy.
Stroud?
Yeah, exactly. Well, not only CJ Stroud, but if he turns into over 5-6 years into let's say like a Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like turn into the Josh Allen.
That's a good one.
Head coach is gone by then. That's the problem.
Yeah, head coach has already lost the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Normally he's been fired. So it's like that's the two different train of thoughts. And allegedly Shanahan wanted Mac Jones, but Trey Lance's upside much higher. So it's like the football coach is always like, I'd like the better player. And then the scouting people, not always, but sometimes are like, oh, the upside here, though, this is diamond and rough. We see something that other people can't do. I assume that's taking place with Jaden Daniels with the way you described people talking about bad games alongside the good games as opposed to just the upside good games.
I think that's probably right.
Yeah, I think so.
Whereas like Drake May, the conversation's a little different. Like meetings sounded really good. Everybody seems to like him. And I don't think there's as much like, what's he going to be? Like, I think most people think Drake May will be a very good quarterback.
Nice.
But Jaden, it's going to be, this is like 3 different completely different quarterbacks, all probably going to go, I guess, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay.
So interesting.
Okay, so Drake May's still top 3 pick is what you're hearing and thinking.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, was that? Yeah. Why is he falling on fake boards?
I don't. Well,
Yeah, on fake ones.
Kinda. Yeah. Like it feels
What's
like.
Dano think?
Who?
Dano.
We didn't get
What's he
that
say
one.
about Drake?
I don't know.
We
what's
didn't
going
get.
on.
We
Let's
didn't
see.
We didn't get.
He's back with his family for the first time in like 10
I know.
days.
Chris Sims.
It was
said-
Sims.
Yeah,
Sims
Chris
said-
Sims has
Yeah.
him 6 out of 6.
And your guy Ben
right.
Kurt said he was Mason Rudolph.
Well, Ben Kurt.
Sims had
I got
Zach
Ben
Wilson really
Yeah,
high,
he's
right?
Aaron's friend, so he's your friend, ipso facto. Transitional
Yes, he
process.
did, Gumpy.
He is Aaron.
I got it. I get it. Yeah.
What's the like?
Ian, smoking any meat lately?
Dude, I got some things in the freezer that are ready to get. Oh, we got our off.
We got him.
Dano, we're live.
Yeah.
We're live.
What's up, buddy?
Ian Rapoport's on with us right now. You know, he has a different set of connections. And the way he was talking about Drake May is like how everybody's just still keeping him in the top 3, you know, and didn't feel like that was a conversation necessarily everywhere, especially on, as Ian Rapoport calls it, fake draft boards. That's what Ian Rapoport.
Don't make it seem like I called his draft board.
No,
fake.
He doesn't have a draft board, Ian.
Pipe
Jesus.
down. He can't hear
Relax.
you.
And he also can't hear you, Ian. He's on my phone. You know, he can't do the entire thing.
Dipshit.
Drake May, have you done the footage? What are your thoughts on Drake May? He's top 3 guy. He's top 3 quarterback in this draft class. Or what are your thoughts on Drake May?
Yeah, I think Drake May has to get the Jordan Love treatment. Like, you have to sit Drake May for at least a year or two. I remember calling one of his first college football games, dude, and being like, oh my gosh, this guy's wildly talented. And Mac Brown, you know, having a conversation with me, he was like, Dan, this kid is everything that you want. He just mechanically is just so raw. And that's always like a good thing because you can mold him. And I don't think he mechanically, specifically with his feet, like, has gotten a lot better. He hasn't. You know, in college, it's always like, do you have to, all that stuff. So I think if, like, you sit him for at least a year and you develop him, I can see that Boston kind of right back at him. I think if you can sit him for at least a year, you got a chance to have a really, really good player. But you can't play him early. Absolutely.
For those that couldn't see the small screen there in the back, Connor was flipping Dan Orlovsky off. That's all Dano could see, you know, on his particular side of this entire thing. All right, so you're thinking team that has a bridge quarterback on their team going to be the team that likes Drake May the most?
Yeah, you can't, dude. You know this as well. Like, dude, if you take a young talent, and I think I've learned it a little bit over the years. Like, if you take a young, talented quarterback that has mechanical flaws and you play them early, they struggle. And it's almost impossible to then eventually fix those flaws. So you have to mechanically fix that stuff to ever allow the talent to kind of be the number one part of their game. So, yeah, a team that has like a player that you know can at least give you a chance at that position, and you are committed to sitting Drake May for the year, almost like they did with Patrick. You're committed to doing that like they did with Jordan Love. You guys, I mean, Ty, you know this. I talked about Jordan's feet for years now, and that's really the thing that got better as this season went on for him, you know, once he got in a live game. So, yeah, I think if you sit him, top 5 pick, absolutely.
All right. Hey, we appreciate you. Noted, Dano. Noted.
Thank you, Dan.
Noted, Dano. Noted.
I know.
Hey, good job on
I got
that
that noted.
fundraiser last night, man. That's awesome.
Hey, it was cool out there, dude.
And great job by your wife. Great job by Sam.
Running up, yeah, legit.
If I could pick one person to run it up on, it was that.
Oh, he wants to.
Yep, that guy.
Say it!
Go on, Dan. Go on, son.
Hey, good job helping out people who can use it, the kids and whatnot. Good job by you, man.
Yeah, you would never, Dan. You would fucking never.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. We
he's so
appreciate you,
mad.
buddy.
Yeah,
So
he is.
mad. He hates you so bad.
I know, it's sick.
I know it's sick. So he thinks, all right, so that's Dano's take on.
Okay, so let's say that's accurate. Which for the Packers, that's the greatest thing to ever happen to Jordan Love, who now seems to be very excellent.
So good.
Yeah, he's the guy.
So
good at football.
Let's say
hasn't even started running. Really.
Oh, I know. I know.
Go ahead.
So let's say
Ding dong.
he lands at a place like that. So what's a place that has a bridge starter where he can go sit for a year? Washington probably does.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they have Sam Howell, another North Carolina quarterback who flashed a ton last year, struggled at the end of the year, but certainly seems to be bridge starter potential. So maybe you just say draft him and sit him as long. Now, is it going to be a year? Like, I know enough to where it's almost, unless you're sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, it's almost never a year.
Mac Jones in New England, would that be a bridge?
I would like to know if Mac Jones stays in New England or not.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You're hearing 2 p.m. because we heard James Palmer said around 2 a.m. I'm sorry, not p.m. 2 a.m. around Indianapolis. Lost Scots were talking about how if Mac Jones was in San Francisco, like Shanahan wanted, they'd already win a couple Super Bowls. Are people putting over Mac Jones?
I wonder that as well. Like,
Jesus Christ!
Sorry, I would like to know. It's
Give me
like
a fucking break.
I'd like to what they drafted him. Where would he be right now? I would like to know. We'll never find out. It's annoying.
No, we'll never know.
But
It's not
anyway.
possible. It's not feasible.
Yeah.
But I do like that drunk scouts are saying that to people around Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
What else is that? Is there a Mac Jones market? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, almost all quarterbacks get traded, right? You know what I mean? Like nobody gets cut.
Peyton Manning.
Like,
Okay, Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson just got cut. Tom Brady, I think, just his contract just ended.
Right. But I'm saying, like, the Russell Wilson contract was ridiculous, but almost every quarterback ends up getting traded. So I do think if the Patriots say, you know what, it's time to move on, we're going to get a new quarterback, I do think Mac Jones will get traded.
Okay.
And so, would probably...
What's that? What's that?
A little bit of news.
You got to tweet it out when we get it. We know the
nudes?
We know the news. 2 youds.
I'm texting Pelissero that he's going to tweet it for both of us, so it'll be fine.
You want to say it first?
No, it'll be up in 2 seconds.
Just say it on the show, Rap Sheet.
One time.
What is it?
He says, "Give him a minute." Oh wait,
here we'll tweet it. Here we'll say it.
No,
I'll do it.
We'll tweet. AJ won't, but everybody else.
AJ, do you have a Twitter?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Do I follow? Hold on.
I don't know.
Who
Don't try and
cares,
change the topic, Rap Sheet. We know what you're doing.
Yeah, you're delaying.
Oh, am I playing out the clock? That's not true.
You're delaying, and this is what Florio described as you guys doing little thumb races. Right?
That's right.
You're doing thumb races.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a thumb race whenever you saw it. I bet.
Between that and tight end guru, it's been quite a week.
What's that?
Oh yeah. What is that? I meant to ask Ertz that. Why you guys towing the company line and having agents pay you off?
What happened?
There was a deal that broke. Dalton Schultz, a friend of the program, Dalton Schultz. I broke the deal. Really nice deal for him. And I meant, sometimes you say this agent, and whatever. The team agreed to terms. The agent did the deal. I thought it'd be funny to say tight end guru because Steve Carrick represents a lot of tight ends. And then it became this whole thing.
What's the big thing? They hate you that you did?
Multiple.
No,
who's the other? But no, your tweet looked very similar to
Everybody ran with
Sarah
it.
did
Everyone called this guy a tight end guru after Rap Sheet tweeted it.
Oh.
Trendsetter.
Football is fun. It should be fun.
You're an influencer. You're an influencer.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's all right.
Fun.
I saw my name with 2 A's in it in a bunch of tweets. So it was like, feels like this copy paste. We got love for Stephen A, baby. We got love for Stephen A. Just to address that entire thing.
I don't know what that's about.
Me neither. It was everywhere. I was like, oh, God. I mean, do people have miscommunications, misunderstandings in friendships, relationships? Yes.
Sure.
But we got nothing but love for Stephen A. I mean, that was a wild thing to wake up and read. I was like, this is awesome. And then I learned I was banned from First Take.
I get. Yeah.
Bummer.
Banned from First Take. That was news to me. I read it, texted Stephen A. I'm banned from First Take? No. What are we talking about?
Okay.
We ran footage of our show on First Take today.
You did.
That was very nice of him to put us on literally today after everybody said it.
Mm-hmm.
That was very kind of him.
Yeah.
What media outlet did that story?
New York Post.
The Post.
Is that Rat work there?
No, he actually, I think he left.
He did. He works at The Athletic now.
I blocked him, so I didn't get the chance to follow the entire thing.
Sure.
But it's wild how the internet works. I mean, that's news on our stuff. Like, and it's like, this has been the history of this entire kind of run. Like, stuff that's just wrong gets reported, and then it just gets sent.
Mm-hmm.
And if you happen to nap or something, it's already gone. It's already gone out there. And then you come back, it's like there's already people that believe it fully. That's your world.
Because you guys, that's your word, right?
Yeah, I mean that happens to us too, though. You know, it's like you say something, then someone repurposes it, and then everyone just assumes that's what you said, and then it's like, all right, So I'll get like a phone call, like, why'd you say this? I'm like, I did not say this. It was repurposed by whoever. But yeah.
Yeah, and people start thinking it's real. Even people like, and they'll take stuff and just and then put it in there. And it's like
a lot of that.
Well, what's the context of that? Well, it's not. It is a lot of that, and it's growing. Now, with that being said, we have bought enough time. What is the news?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom hasn't tweeted yet. What is going on?
Oh, I gotta wait 1 second.
Why don't you tell your team what are we talking about? You guys are gonna lose news. If this is how this goes, you're gonna lose news.
It's gonna be disappointing because if it was actual, the tweet would have already been out.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he would have hung up.
Pelissero had guitar practice.
Well, I mean, it's always a little disappointing.
Brian Allen.
I remember
COVID again.
we did this one time where it was news I was waiting on. It was so bad.
Tonight.
You know what it was?
What? No, I don't remember what it was, but I do remember Jay Glazer. You remember Jay Glazer had the first NFL COVID?
Huge.
It was a center, right, from the Rams.
Back up.
And Brian Allen.
Yeah, but turned out to be the second because Von Miller earlier that day
already had it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're happy everybody survived.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree. Agreed.
What's the fucking news,
I'm
pal?
so sick of this rap. I'm so sick of this.
Schulte's gonna
No, it'll be fine.
So
Schulte's
dumb.
gonna beat
You'll be like, oh,
It's not going to take away from your post if you say it here.
It's going to be terrible news. It's not going to be news. It's going to be like, oh, that
no,
guy,
but
cool.
you know, you gotta just you gotta just make sure it's
protocol.
Protocols. A lot of protocols.
Oh,
like COVID.
You're double
but not-
checking right now. You don't know if it's real.
Yeah, just making absolute sure.
Another source.
I don't want to put out something and have people wake up to it and be like, wow, that's not true.
Okay, so just exactly what we just talked about. Okay.
If they're sleeping at 3 p.m., yes.
Well, it depends where they are. You know, all over the country or all over the world, there's a lot of time zones.
Could be in Abu Dhabi.
Like, it could be over in Saudi Arabia because in Banu.
Yep.
He's
Oh,
fighting
it's tonight?
He's fighting at like 6:30.
Oh,
Yeah.
tonight. Yeah.
I think it's today.
What is it?
He's fighting Anthony
Joshua.
Francis Ngannou's boxing Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia on Saturday, but here it is happening 6:30 Friday.
Very strange.
Yeah, time's weird. Time's a wild thing. 'Cause it's all the same time, but is it?
This weekend time, jumping forward.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we're losing.
It's like when I
pumped.
It's like when I had to explain how Taylor Swift was going to go from her concert on Saturday night and land in Vegas on Saturday night, and I had a big conversation with my wife where she had to explain to me the international time zone, or international timeline, or whatever. It was a great moment on TV.
How old are you?
Right. That was a couple weeks ago.
So how old are you?
44.
So
damn,
you survived 44 years without knowing that there's time zones around the world?
Hey, I've survived 44 years without knowing a lot of things. That's the least of it.
I don't know what's real.
Let's just be happy that I was able to connect FaceTime, okay? And tweet some news.
So, like, when that London game starts happening, you are fucking baffled about why.
Yeah.
Why is this going on 9:30 a.m.?
What happened?
Why is the deal? The sun seems to be in a different place. Do they have a different fucking sundial over here?
Believe me, some of these things are very confusing.
Like, why you won't tell us the fucking news right now? That is maybe the most confusing thing. All right, we'll follow along. Anything else we need to follow and keep an eye on over the weekend? Deals will be done. They'll be announced on Monday at what time? Noon?
Noon. If a deal is done when it shouldn't be done, it'll be announced a little after noon. But there'll be some re-signs. There'll be some good ones, I think, this weekend. Because there's, like you get to, like, the tight ends or whatever. Like, Schultz got done. Hunter Henry got done. Like, if your own team is going to give you the most money, take the deal, and there'll be a couple more of those.
Okay, I'm excited to hear who it is and follow along as you break news never for us. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends, us being the friends, he being Rap Sheet, Ian Rapoport. Is he ever going to tell us?
No.
Let me tell you something that's awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Today, an everyday sponsor is our friends at SeatGeek, which is the best ticket buying platform on planet Earth and the moon. We know it's about to start happening. Whenever there are live events taking place on the moon, you will want to buy your ticket for said live event on the moon through our friends at SeatGeek.
For sure.
It's the greatest ticket buying platform because they tell you if you're getting ripped off. They'll have a little red dot there that says, this is a bad deal. Do not buy this. This is not good. You can go somewhere else on the internet and find this at a better price. You'll never get catfished. And also, they'll let you know, hey, this is a good deal. Right here with the green and yellow, like, you're getting in there. They got tickets to every event that's taking place. Every one, seemingly.
Honestly, you scan through there. If something's happening, SeatGeek's got the hookup on the best prices. You know, over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of events that have had like ticket prices involved in the news around it.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark, a lot of it.
Yep. Sure.
Other things. And they always put like a couple of different ticketing places. SeatGeek has a lower ticket price than all of them, mostly in almost every single time.
Yeah.
SeatGeek is the best place on earth. We appreciate them. And now the football season is over. SeatGeek is extending their $30 off promo to all events.
What?
Let's
Excuse
go.
me?
That's like 10,000 a day.
That's huge.
NBA, NHL,
What?
concerts,
What?
comedy,
What?
whatever.
What?
All you need to do is use code PAT30, PAT30, to get $30 off tickets. Doesn't matter if you're a new or repeat customer, $30 off with code PAT30. Restrictions apply. Bill Burr's in Indiana this weekend.
Yeah.
Got tickets for that on SeatGeek. PAT30. Should have used that. I didn't know we're getting 30 off on tickets.
Shit.
All right.
You got me for 30, SeatGeek.
For Bill.
For Bill.
Bill Burr.
For Bill.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think he's profiting the same off it because it's a secondary ticket buying
Yeah,
Definitely.
platform, but nonetheless, for Bill. Any event you want to go to, SeatGeek's got your back.
Hell yeah.
Use code PAT30 for $30 off all tickets. All right, let's get the hell out of here, boys.
Okay.
It's been a hell of a week.
Yeah.
Great week.
Good to be back.
It was good to be back. AJ, first week back, how'd you feel?
Man, feels great to be back. You're right. Felt like we were gone for months and months.
It did feel like that. You're out on that cruise again, only for a few days. You're telling me there's no cucking going on that cruise?
Don't lie.
Well, can describe exactly what you mean.
You know what it means.
I went on a cruise one time, and I was asked if I wanted to, potentially go back to the room of a couple, and I declined, and then I was accosted by friends of mine for declining that, saying that I ruined the entire mood of the story. But
friends.
I have other friends that have gone on a cruise maybe one time, first time, right now currently. In first night, they were asked.
Yep.
So in my eyes, from the people I talk to, there's a chance that that's what some of these cruises are. That's not the Ohio State Buckeye cruise, is what you're saying.
That does not. I have not seen that in the many, many times I've been on the Ohio State Buckeye cruise.
That's
But
good.
you're talking about you sounds like you were on a swinger cruise. I don't think cucking would mean the guy sat in the corner and set up the tripod and filmed you. I think this guy wanted to jump in with you and have a throuple situation.
No. I didn't get to the full details, to be honest with you.
Filming isn't involved. Not that I would know.
Crying's not always involved either.
What's going on?
You don't
Say
always
crying?
have to film. You don't always have to cry in the corner.
To what AJ was describing.
Yeah.
If someone's crying in the corner, though, that means they don't want to be the cuck.
Or they're so happy.
Or they enjoy it like that.
I get, they're just hard as a rock, just bawling their eyes out. That'd be a lot of emotion. That'd be tough to process.
I'd assume day-to-day life for that particular person is tough. I assume there's a lot going on every single day at every single moment, if that's taking place.
A lot of wars
If
between
you're
those.
crying,
No
man,
judgment.
Yeah.
That's your thing. No judgment.
Yeah,
That's
hey,
nothing.
get through it. However you need to get through your day.
Good
Sounds
luck.
like you got a lot
Whatever it
going on.
Do it.
Whatever it takes.
Different body parts are in different stages of grief.
Yep.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, buddy. Jeez Louise.
Oh no. But how are you hard when you're so upset? I
What's
don't
going
know.
on in your brain and then what's going on in the lower half? Are
Two
they
different
connected?
brains.
Crying everywhere.
Always has been.
Yep.
All right. AJ, you giving stuff away or is Rapoport? Let's call Rapoport back.
And
Rap sheet for sure with a new haircut. Are you kidding me?
Has he broke that news
No,
yet?
he has
I mean,
not.
no. After that news thing, I don't know if I ever want to see that fucking guy.
Did he get one haircut? Anything? One hair even cut off his head or the side?
Yeah, he looks the exact same.
Yeah.
The front maybe a little bit lower.
He was flabbergasted though. Like he thinks it's a drastic change.
Yeah.
He had no idea there was time zones.
True.
Well, was he serious there?
Is Europe on Eastern time zone?
I enjoy him quite a bit.
You know
Okay, here we
every
go.
mirror he's walking by.
All right,
too.
Ian. You look the exact same as you used to. You're back, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Rapoport. Hey,
Rap sheet.
It's obviously different. Hold on. See?
Yeah, this haircut actually
He's
does kind of
serious.
suck.
Is he serious?
I like the
It
other
looks
one.
completely different. What are you guys talking about?
Pull that
Are you
photo
making
up.
fun? Like,
Yeah.
What's the,
Here we go.
really
Look,
different?
check it
Look
out.
at it.
Oh,
What's-
my.
Yeah, you look a little older, I guess, with the new one.
Hey, thanks for making some flattering pictures. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. You look good. You look good. You look the exact same,
You do.
but you look
No,
good.
it's
It's a bit more gel.
Hey,
than
Rap,
I
if I
thought.
make this shot, how many people are you giving $500 to? 20 people?
right-handed or left-handed.
Jesus. Cheapskate. What do you think?
Show him the shot, please. It's a long
Let me
shot.
see.
I'm here.
Tough shot.
See me? I look your size.
Oh, at least 10.
At least 10.
At least 10.
All right.
I see you.
We'll
I see
go.
you over there.
We'll go. You see me down here?
Yeah, way down there.
See me down here?
He's not even going to hit the rim.
Okay.
There it is.
So 20 people, $500 from you, Rapoport?
That seems like a lot of money.
Just say yes. You got it.
Yes.
Yeah, attaboy.
Nice.
No chance.
He's going to drain this. This is going in.
Zero chance.
No, it's
too strong.
It's a 3-shot situation.
Yeah.
What?
Boom.
Nobody told me that.
Here we go.
No, it's
Here we go.
volume.
Five.
It's volume.
Oh, hit the rim.
We're still going.
There
Here we go.
it is.
Yes. There it is.
How he's getting tired.
This one's in.
Come on.
This one's in.
Bang! Bonus ball. That one's
got
coming
robbed.
back. That one's coming back.
You got robbed. Here it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Lava.
Nice.
Good work.
Nice.
Rapoport!
Yeah!
20 people, $500 from our friend Ian Rapoport.
you, Ian.
You're man, Ian.
Baby.
We'll let you know who you need to pay. Thank you, Ian. Have a great
Rap.
weekend, man. Ladies and gentlemen,
Bye,
Ian
guys.
Rapoport, Rap
The baby
Sheet,
Rap Sheet.
NFL Network. That's right.
Good guy.
Yep.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Exactly.
There's no better way to end this week.
No.
This is a fun first off-season week back. We can't wait to join you on Monday. We're going to continue to try to put on a program that's at least a little bit entertaining.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit insightful, but also let you know that there's a chance that what we're talking about is complete bullshit, because that is what we're in the middle of right now.
Sure.
That's right.
Yes.
Yep.
Draft season's bullshit season. We're going to try our best to navigate the waters as best as possible as teams are trying to build to beat the damn Chiefs.
Hell yeah.
And then NBA's happening, NHL's happening, PBR.
Why?
Yeah.
Tonight, banger main.
Oh,
Let's go.
baby.
John Crimber is about to ride tonight. AJ, you hear me?
Yes. Who owns the
But the
Bulls
shame
that
is
get
Krimmer's going to
rid-
take this off. Okay. He's going to take this off. He's going to put this on. That's going to be him on a bull tonight.
You look pretty
does
cool.
look
Yeah, you do look
You look pretty cool.
Cooler than with a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Or at that Steelers helmet, yeah.
you got Pittsburgh Steelers helmet on.
Ride your motorcycle home with that on.
Yep.
What?
Where are you going with that? What?
Ben was wearing a helmet. Okay.
Well, he wasn't. He had a Hayabusa, and he crashed that thing in the middle of downtown Pittsburgh, and everybody thought he was dead. And then they found out he didn't have a driver's license, and there's a lot of stuff that happened, but he came back and threw a lot of footballs into end zones, and that guy will be beloved there forever.
Always.
Anyways, PBR tonight, let's never forget that.
Yep.
I think there's some golf this weekend.
Yep.
The Arnie Palmer.
The Iowa women are playing tonight.
Let's go.
There's, I think, a race or two, maybe.
UFC.
Shriner.
Sean O'Malley's fighting.
Big. Let's go. Cheeto Vera and Sugar Sean down in Miami. The crowd, you know, when we talked to Dana out in Vegas a little bit, he talks about Miami being he's like, hey, fighting Miami is going to be awesome. And we were going to try to get the show there. I think something happened or whatever the case is. But, like, that crowd yesterday at the press conference was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheeto.
Not pro sugar.
No. And Sugar Sean, by the way, is a friend of the program and a guy who is a superstar.
Showman.
For the UFC. They are on Cheeto's side down there. Cheeto's been talking some shit, too.
A lot of shit.
Now, Cheeto's the only one that has beat Sugar Sean, but Sugar Sean doesn't really count it because something happened to his foot.
Yeah.
Broke his foot.
Drop foot.
Drop foot happened in the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
So he didn't really think he got a fair shot at fighting him. There's been people that have asked him questions about why he's fighting Cheeto again when there's other bigger fights and big-time fights. In Cheeto Vera, he seems to be the most confident fighter that has ever fought Sugar Sean. I'm excited to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Sugar Sean is a showman. Sugar Sean is also, he got down to 135 pounds, and I think his weight loss is not as easy as maybe others because he's tall whenever it comes to 135 pounders, and he dances.
Yeah.
He'll go fake basketball dribble through legs to a punch. Like, that is who Sugar Sean is as a fighter. Excited he's back in there with a guy who's going to be great. UFC's happening. Let's go.
Here we go, boys.
Should be good. Get to play the villain, like you mentioned. He is like an absolute showman. Now he can be a heel showman. I think it's going to be even better.
Okay, let's have a phenomenal weekend.
Hell yeah.
NBA's got stuff popping on.
What?
NHL Penguins Bruins tomorrow at 3:00.
We just sold our
Yeah,
team.
that one.
Yeah.
I think they actually moved it off of ABC.
Vegas just made a big trade right at the deadline
Huge
buzzer.
trade.
Who do we get?
Tomas Hertl from San Jose, who was their best player. They
Yeah.
gave up 2 first-round picks to get him.
Don't need him.
He's not going to play probably until the playoffs, but people are going to be pissed because that puts them at like $100 million. So he's going to come in playoff time, play a top 6 role for them. It's huge.
Fucking boys just playing the game. Sorry.
Stoner will be
Sorry.
back then.
Stoner will be back. Fucking Noah Hannafin will be, acquainted with the boys.
Did this guy talk to you? Because you're a teammate. You're on the team.
Haven't had a chance to.
When was the last time you talked to the boys? Seems like they've kind of just cut you out of their life.
No. Let's just say me and Jackie Aces, I've been keeping up with, hey, how we feeling? Here we fucking go, boys. He knows.
You talk Stoner at all, or how's Stoner?
Yeah, well wishes, Stoner. You do what you got to do. We'll see you in the playoffs, okay? We'll see you when fucking Lord Stanley is actually around.
Are you still lacing his skates, or what's going on?
Every fucking night. Got a pond in my backyard.
Nice.
Amen.
Here we fucking go, boys.
That's what it's all about.
Right there.
That's what it's all about.
Back to back.
Right there.
That's what it's all about.
Trying to be the Chiefs, the NHL.
Right there.
Here we fucking go, boys.
Here we fucking go, boys.
Who's the MC?
Mark. His name's Mark.
Here we fucking go.
Yeah,
boys.
here we fucking go, Mark. Here we fucking go, boys.
What's the name of the
Golden Knight?
The Golden Knight?
I don't know. Fuck that guy. I'd like to slice that guy's head off.
I thought after we watched the video, you would realize that you did not do what the Knight told you to do.
I was so fucked up that I should have never been in any position to be wielding an 8-foot sword in an elevated.
You drop
seriously.
that thing off?
Yeah, exactly. Tumble off, impale myself. I was in no position.
I respected that Golden Knight. Did you see his duel before the game?
Oh, yeah.
He's dominant.
Skating on the ice. Yeah, it's awesome.
They put like little roads down on the ice
Yeah,
too. That was a beautiful show. That was a fantastic show. Drummers came out.
Yep.
The whole thing. Here we fucking go.
Here we fucking go, boys.
And welcome to the team.
Yeah, I forgot who
Thomas
we got
Hertel.
already, but he's a fucking dog. And he said, hey, can't wait to get out of that fucking shithole San Jose. Get me to Vegas. Here we fucking go, boys.
I was in the San Jose. I was in the shark cage.
Were you?
Yeah.
In the tank?
Shark pit. I was in the
In Shark Pit?
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank.
They
that
are.
shark pit.
Tell you what, their record's not good, but they are hungry sharks.
They are.
They play hard.
It was a lot highs.
They suck.
Yeah, you catch them getting 2.5, 10:30
They are.
at night. You
Yeah.
sign up
We
for that
love
every
the sharks
time.
On Hammer Down.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Hurdle's a dog.
So I remember when I was in San Jose now a couple weeks ago for Monday Night Raw. I do a thing during commercial breaks where I talk to the crowd a little bit. It's really turned into like me judging the crowd pretty much. Like, hey, you've been great. Every week they have been amazing. But I want to ask about the local, how we're doing. Guy was wearing a San Jose Sharks tarp right back here. Like, I run to the bathroom and I stop and I'm like, hey, how are we this year? Absolute crap. We're the worst. We are so bad at hockey. I'm like, you're a diehard fan? He goes, oh yeah, miserable, terrible. I'm like, we won a Stanley Cup though recently, didn't we? He's like, 10 years ago. It's bad. And I was like, all right, not going to mention San Jose Sharks in this entire thing. They suck.
They're
they're the worst
They're
team in the league.
15, 42, and 5.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
They were very good for a long time.
They had a big dude with that beard.
Joe Thornton.
Joe Thornton and
From Boston.
And now they suck?
Pavelski. They had Pavelski.
Yeah,
on
he's
there.
Texas hockey now.
They
baby.
actually had No, they didn't have Carlson.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did?
Traded him to the Guinos.
Him and
Yeah.
Brent Burns. Brent Burns was
Burns
also
was
a
dog.
big
Now, is he still on Carolina?
You hear what we're saying
Yeah.
about San Jose right now?
Yeah, exactly. Get used to it. You know what they're calling San Jose
That's
East,
not a
right?
hockey town. Okay, they just let them dwindle. That won't happen in Pittsburgh.
I want to do this. I want to do this if I were you.
This is a universe ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I got 4 of them. There's 4 universe
I know how many. You need 50 of them, but
This is the Pittsburgh Penguins aren't dead.
Okay.
Okay? This is because hockey is
awesome. I don't even want to watch.
If this ball goes in a hoop, Pittsburgh Penguins aren't just going to be the worst fucking franchise for the next 5 years, as every single person that's good at hockey on their team is not going to be on their team much longer.
Okay.
A lot of pressure.
Maybe bump that to next 10 years.
Good start.
Not just 5.
For the Penguins. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. It got worse.
It was a different ball.
I know. That's why it got worse.
But it was a better throw. Nick, like real deal. I gotta make these balls. We're staring down. We're staring down the inevitable. We suck at hockey town.
Done it before, can do it again.
We suck at hockey town.
There's not.
The Red Wings just got out of it.
No, they stink still.
It wasn't fun.
Yeah, they still blow.
We got Yzerman now, though.
Steve-o.
Yeah, but if this ball goes in, Pens are gonna be A-okay.
You can bring Mario back.
Here we fucking go, boys.
Let's go.
Here we go, boys.
Boom.
News ball.
Here we go. Boy. Time to make a run.
Stick taps for the boys.
Let's go, boys.
Here we fucking go, boys.
Oh, boys. All right, let's have a weekend.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you to the people that stopped by for conversations. You are incredibly kind. Shout out to the Pens in the universe saying, don't you worry, child.
yeah.
Although they're trading away some players, we're going to be good in the future. Shout out to all the sports that are going to keep us entertained all weekend. And shout out to you for allowing us to do this for a living. You're the greatest people on earth. We can't thank you enough for being a part of this every single day. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. You never know what anybody's going through. And we're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.